Thank you for picking up the sticks. This is episode number 37 of the Sticks Gaming Podcast. I'm Myke Curtin. No, that's wrong.
You were doing so well. It was going so good.
Myke, we fired Myke. So to my right, Myke Steak Carnia.
What's going on? And to my left, Art, 37 in a row. Rosian.
Perfect.
I had to do it. I was like, 37. I'm like, yes, it's
37.
Perfect time. 37.
37. My girlfriend sucked 37 dicks.
In a row?
And to my extreme right, our guest, Joe, I don't know your last name.
Niemeyer.
Joe Niemeyer.
Woo!
Hi, thank you for having me. I'm really excited.
Yes, welcome.
It worked out perfectly because if it was just the two of us, we would have been silent for
It would
like 2
have
hours.
been really weird. It would have been us just making like gestures into the camera. Some dancing.
We would have said the 37 dicks thing, and then we just turned on Clerks and watched that. So.
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been a great podcast.
I don't.
No
think,
offense, Joe, but that would be
I
great.
don't think we can put that on YouTube though. Copyright.
That's
right.
true. No, just the audio, right? They can't. As long as they just watch us watch it.
Sure.
Hey, with the way streaming is now, people just watch you do anything. So, you know.
That is true. I am all about that.
All right, so we'll start off as we always do with when we have a guest. Joe, tell us 3 of your favorite games on 3 of your favorite consoles, just to get to know you.
All right. Well, first of all, I just want to say that this is nearly impossible for me to do because I absolutely love video games. I can sit here and talk about them all day, so that's why I'm glad you guys had me on this podcast.
Good. We wanted this to be as painful for you as possible.
Thank you. But so, you know, listening to the show, like, you guys talk about a lot of stuff, but I feel that Sega itself is not represented enough. So that's why I feel that I'm here to
That is
represent
true.
Sega.
That is a good point. That is very true.
Tell me you're a PC gamer too, because if so, you hit all of our deficiencies.
I used to PC game more than what I do now. So now I'm kind of just getting into just on the couch console and kind of done with it. But I was just gonna pick 3 Sega systems, but then I felt like compelled to throw in the NES because I can't forget my roots. You know, so
For sure.
on NES it was really tough. But I think I'm gonna go with Ninja Gaiden 2.
Oh, good choice.
Like, I wanted to do Legend of Zelda because you know that's a very special game to me, and I think that will go into our topic later on.
Sure.
But Ninja Gaiden 2 for me, I just countless hours of that, and just even for being 8-bit, just and being younger, just like the cinematic style was just unbelievable in that game.
Yeah, Ninja Gaidens were always good. They were always a lot of fun and hard as fuck.
I remember them being really hard.
yeah. It was hard, but you know it was still fun, and I think that even went into Ninja Gaiden on the original Xbox, where it was like hard enough where it was frustrating, but like you still knew that you screwed up,
right?
And that's what made me want to continue playing it. You know.
Yep.
So for my second system, I picked Genesis, and then this was another hard one, but I think Streets of Rage 2.
Oh,
Just fun with my friends. You know, anyone that came over, we would play that game. Great gameplay, graphics, sound. You know, the soundtrack is unbelievable in that game, so I had to go with that one.
God, they should bring back the brawlers.
That
Would be how awesome that'd be. Some like new co-op brawlers, like that'd be great. Like I mean, I don't even it was like a network game or like whatever, like a PSN game. Like we haven't had anything like that in a long time. I don't think.
Nothing that wasn't like supposed to be a retro style 8-bit type thing.
Right. Yeah.
You know, I think a good platform for that now would be the Switch.
Yeah.
Especially with the indie push. Like even if you just have the Switch popped up.
Yep.
2 friends playing, you know, a couple buttons.
Right. Yeah, you only need punch and kick.
Right. You know,
and grab. But
and even on just a Switch screen, you know, like it still look great with that art style, and I think it'd be really cool.
That would be awesome.
So moving up console generations, there's a toss up between Saturn and Dreamcast because they're both near and dear to my heart. But I think I'm gonna go with Saturn.
Okay.
And with Saturn,
Do I know which one?
You think you know which one?
I don't know. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm gonna go with Panzer Dragoon 2.
Yeah. I knew it.
The second one, because that game is just I can't even describe it. And I know people talk about it all the time, but it's just the graphics, the sound, you know, like the branching pathways, and then at the end they had this option called Pandora's Box, and it would like open up like different modifiers for the game, and it was just unbelievable. So any Saturn people out there, or you're interested in Saturn, try to find the second Panzer Dragoon.
That's expensive, isn't it? If you can find it.
Not Saga.
Oh, that's right.
Saga was the hard one.
Okay.
To find.
Okay.
Yeah, but 2, even the Japanese version, you can find those cheap, and the story's pretty much nonsensical anyway.
Right.
So just play the game, and you'll have a good time. So
awesome.
Yeah, it was brutal. That was brutal.
I am very surprised that so the NES took place for a Dreamcast. I thought for sure we're gonna have a Dreamcast.
Yeah,
game.
well, my Dreamcast list has 7 on it. But just with the NES, I mean, that's where it all started.
Yeah, for sure.
I had to pick it.
Oh, good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah, I appreciate the some Sega input there. I was a Nintendo kid, and
Yeah.
I know Mike was a Nintendo kid, and I mean you had a Dreamcast.
I had a dream. I did, but I was late to the Dreamcast party. I wasn't during like the prime of it, like because like the Genesis was my uncle's, so I always every time I go over to my uncle's house, we'd always play Genesis, and I loved Genesis, but I never actually owned one myself. And then my cousin had the Game Gear, which then we would play together when he'd come over and stuff. And then I finally got my own Game Gear. Not too long ago, actually.
Yeah.
So I got quite a few games on that, and I love the Dreamcast. And the Saturn's the one you never really grabbed onto.
Yeah, Saturn has some cool stuff.
But yeah,
there's a whole history with Saturn in terms of being hard to develop for, and then EA went more the Sony route because it was easier to develop for, and pumping out the games on there. But they had some pretty good gems on there that you could really find, and it's a good time.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so time for what you playing. So Steak, what you playing?
A lot of the same stuff. Still played a little bit of Monster Hunter Generations, hacking, slashing, gathering, all that good stuff. Yakuza 0. So Kiwami came out, picked up Kiwami, and I'm like, oh, Yakuza 0. I feel like I'm making some progress here and there. I'm making some progress. So let me see how much further I can get in this. And then I'm like, all right. I could tell him at the end of whatever the chapter. What is it? My chapter 5, and I'm like, oh, okay. I'm feeling like this stuff. Something's like we're building up to something kind of big here. So I think I'm getting not close to the end necessarily, but at least progressing. Yeah, I looked it up the other day. How many chapters were in this game? Yeah, there's 17. And I was like, oh my god! Like I'm not even near the. I'm like 25 hours in, and I'm like, I'm not even near the end of this game, like at all. Like crap, because I don't want to start Kiwami until I finish 0.
And you can't start Kiwami 2, which was announced until you.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thankfully, Kiwami is only supposed to be like 30 hours with doing stuff. So basically, I need
just 30 hours.
Yeah, so I basically need to stop doing all the side stuff. So if anyone watched the live stream I did of it, like it was, I did most of the stuff I did was the side stuff, just to kind of show everyone if they've never seen Yakuza that besides like the regular story, here's all the other stuff you can do, and because Yakuza is insane with the amount of stuff you can do. But yeah, I need to stop focusing on that stuff, and I just need to get through the story and keep progressing. And then last but not least, I picked up and been playing Everybody's Golf.
Yep.
It's awesome.
Is it good?
Addicting.
Okay.
It's Hot Shots. It's addicting. Yeah. I mean, anytime you play Hot Shots for the first time, before you know, you're like, oh, damn it, 3 hours are gone.
Yeah. I think the last Hot Shots I played was on PSP.
Oh, you never got the Vita one?
No, I never picked up the Vita one.
Oh, so good.
I just remember playing Hot Shots in line for episode 3.
Okay.
With a bunch of people.
Nice.
That was the last I remember for Hot Shots.
Yeah, Hot Shots is so much fun. It's so good. And you can like totally customize your characters and all this other good stuff. So I highly recommend it for $40. And I was part of the Best Buy fuck up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
which,
I read about.
Which I'm so mad about though, because I already opened it. And I was like, damn it.
That's like I said. If I'd read
that, a free game.
If I read that article like the night before, instead of downloading it, I would have called you. I'm like, hey, how $25?
Yeah, no, right, exactly. Oh my god, and I was so mad too because like I seriously redeemed the code. 10 minutes later, I saw that article. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. I could have at least hung on to my code. I could have sold my code or whatever at least.
Trade the physical in
but yeah, I could do that. I think there's a guy at work. I offered him. I was like, hey, if you want $20, like, at least split it. We each got it for $20 instead of 40. That's fine with me. But we'll see. But yeah, that's about it though.
So I've also been playing Everybody's Golf. On a HDR display, beautiful game.
Oh yeah. I don't think I'm ever gonna take it off that 4K mode.
I don't know, unless you just wanted to see what it looked like without it.
I guess
I don't know why.
Because the 1080p is 60 frames per second, and the 4K is 30 frames. That's like the big difference.
Yeah, I don't know if a golf game if you really need that 60.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to watch the ball fly.
Yeah.
So I do have some complaints about the game. I mean, the gameplay is great. It's 3-click golf. It's what 3-click golf has always been.
Touch shots.
It's it was a little tricky getting used to putting with 3-click.
Oh
I'm used to
God,
putting
yes.
and just start the thing, stop the meter, and it putts.
Yeah, it's right. I forgot that it adds that extra click now.
Yeah. So some of my issues I have with the game. There's only like 6 courses in the game.
6 courses, yeah.
There's only 6 courses in the game, and they had 2 more available at launch for DLC.
Yep.
Which is bullshit.
Yeah, and I think they were like $7 a piece too. They're not.
That's
one's more expensive than the other. I think like
that's right.
One's 8 and one's 6.
Yeah, I think you're. Yeah, that's right. I think you're right. That's just it's pricey.
Not a big fan of that since there's only 6 courses in the game to start with.
Yeah.
The other thing that is just like a personal gripe is I'm used to playing golf games at this point where it's like, and I feel like even not Hot Shots, but some other series that were like 3-click would let you do this, but in some golf games they let you go in and they let you customize like the clubs that you're carrying. So usually when I play golf games, I won't carry a 5-wood. I'll carry a 2-iron or a 1-iron or something, and I'll drop it, or I won't carry another iron. I'll carry an additional wedge of some kind. And they don't let you do that. It's like you get a 1, 3, and 5-wood, a 3 through 9-iron, and I think a pitching wedge and an arc wedge.
Yep.
And that's it. There's like no customization there, which is a little bit annoying. I like being able to go through and tinker with that stuff, but it doesn't really take away from the fact that the game's super fun to play.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I'm not going to stop playing it because of those things.
right. It just those. It's like it's features that you're used to having before, and it's just like, it would be nice to still be able to do something like this.
At some point, I may grit my teeth and shell out the extra $15 for the DLC stuff.
Once I dig more into the game, I will. Yeah. Like as much as I don't want to because it's pricey, I will.
There's always that like kind of line in terms of like being a full feature game and then having DLC. So it's like you kind of wonder if like maybe the 6 courses, that's why they charged the $39, but then their pedigree of before of being full price but having a lot more courses, so it's like are they doing it as like, hey, if you want to get these more courses, then it's then you can buy if you choose to do so,
then you can pay for a full price game,
right? But that being said, though, 6, and I haven't even played the game yet, 6 does seem kind of low, especially for a game like Hot Shots. So
well, and like the thing is too, like I don't know how many like. So there's different, like, it's like a normal golf game, like Mario Golf or Hot Shots, where you play through, like, tournaments, and then you unlock head-to-head matches where you unlock additional characters. Okay. And I don't know exactly how many additional characters that they're on, but I just cleared the 2nd tier. So I'm through, there's 3 characters per tier. I've cleared 6 of the characters. There's at least 2 more levels, and I don't know, at some point here we're going to start repeating the courses.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, they do goofy stuff, like they'll have you hit from a further tee, or they have hole modifiers where sometimes it's a giant hole, sometimes it's like they call it a tornado hole, where if you get close, it just sucks you in. Okay. But when you're playing with the giant hole or the tornado hole, it's an unofficial round, so it doesn't count towards your records. You can't earn trophies. Yeah. Which that kind of sucks because there's only a couple things I would have earned trophies on.
Oh, me too. Yeah, hole in one and eagle. I would have gotten trophies for both of those with the tornado one.
Yeah, well, like the one.
But I was even like hitting it like dead on too. It's like, oh, I would have hit that, and then like of course I get to the normal cup, and
you're way off.
I'm way off.
Forgot what I was gonna say there.
Sorry.
That's all right. Whatever. So yeah, it's a good game. It's $40 is probably a fair price for the base model, but it does kind of irk me that they already have extra courses available that they didn't include. Outside of that, I picked up new Madden. I played through their story mode, which took me about 3 or 4 hours maybe.
Oh, that's not too bad.
The length isn't bad. I'm still reading people saying that this is drawing people into playing the game, which maybe it is. I don't know. I'm reading people saying like the story writing is good. It's really not. It's very cheesy, very hokey. It's at no point in there when they're going through like dramatic stuff that I feel like, oh, I feel bad for the guy. It was just like, just let me press X to skip this shit and get to the next gameplay thing.
Gotcha.
But it is a little bit different because it's not just straight like, okay, we're gonna throw you into this scenario and you play Madden. It's like they do some things where they do quick time events. They do other things where it's like you throw a pass and you have to like guide the ball like past defenders to your receiver. They have other like challenge mini games where it's like at one point you're at a military base, and it's like where your guy found his love for football again, and you're in like a airplane hangar and there's a bunch of crates set up and you're like throwing the football at these crates to get points. So that kind of stuff is interesting and a little bit different, but the people who are saying that the writing in this is really good for a sports game, I don't think it's not that much better than what I played in the NBA 2K series, which was really bad.
Well, and weren't people praising the Spike Lee the Spike Lee story? Weren't people praising that too? And it's like every person I talked to, they're like, "This is garbage."
It was awful. So I don't know. Maybe people are just setting the bar super, super low because it's a sports game and there's not supposed to be story in there.
And it's Madden, so they want to give Madden some type of credit,
I guess. Outside of that, I mean, it's another Madden. It feels a little bit different, but I got used to it real quick. Receivers drop the ball a lot more easier now, so I can't throw. I can't lead my receiver into a safety and get him killed and the ball.
Damn it.
But I mean, outside of that, it's more Madden. Right. Nothing special there. It's jumping out at me. Of course, they tried putting in some new goofy passing mechanic, which I'll never use.
Of course. At least they let you turn that stuff off when they do try to introduce stuff. Usually they let you. This one isn't even. It's not the default like they've done in the past. Oh, okay.
It's like
that's good.
It's like this is an option here for you if you want to use it. But the default is still just you hike the ball and the buttons pop up over the receivers. Outside of that, I played some more Binding of Isaac.
Oh, nice.
Which it's a fun game. It's you can go through a round in 10, 20 minutes maybe. Right. That was just killing time when I was doing that. So that's all I've been playing. How about you, Joe?
Real quick, going with the Madden, because I hardly play any sports games really.
Yeah.
Maybe 2K every once in a while at a friend's house. But with Madden, they normally don't have like a story mode, right?
No. They used to years ago, but it was always like the same story, and there wasn't like choices that could be made.
Right.
So like in this one, they kind of mix like Madden and almost like a Telltale game. So like something will be said and you'll be given like 3 options of how to react. And then sometimes it almost seems like sometimes the way you react to the thing has an influence. And other times like you could do the story's going to go the same way regardless of what you say. Because there was one time where I think like some guy starts talking trash to your guy and like I chose like the options are like ignore, come back, or intimidate. I'm like, oh, intimidate. I'm getting in his face. And the guy's like, it's nice seeing you, man. I'm like, that's your idea of intimidation. Right. Give me a break.
Because I wonder, like, because I read up a little bit about, like, this is the first year they used Frostbite, right?
Yes.
You think maybe, like, they did a story mode because of they're using that graphics engine now? Like, maybe they can show the players.
Probably. I mean, that's probably a good... I could see that why.
It could be that could be part of it. Like I said before, they used to do a career mode. It wasn't really called story mode, but it was a career mode, but it was, like, play the games, and it was, like, there was no changes in the way the story went. It was like, here's the story, and you're going to go through it, and you're going to deal with it, essentially.
I got you.
And I think they probably kind of wanted to reintroduce that with a little more interactivity with the story. And like this one, I think there's actually different outcomes at the end, depending on how you do and all the stuff through the middle. But yeah, it's been a couple of years since they've had the career mode in there.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to have to Redbox that one weekend just to run through that really quick, just to see it for myself.
Like I said, 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah. Oh, that's perfect.
Not bad for a Madden. I've been playing not a lot.
That's my line.
Yeah. Sorry. Less than I wanted. I mean, I have a 10-month-old now, so time.
3-year-old.
Yeah. It's kind of hard. But I've been playing Sonic Mania. I know Myke kind of talked about that last podcast. It's as being a Sega kid, which I did have NES products too, so, I mean, it's just great to go back to it. It's just such a nostalgia trip, and all the new mechanics that they add to it. It's a blast.
Did you grab it for Switch?
I wish I did. Only because the time that I did it, when they did the collector's edition, they didn't have the Switch version. Right. So I did it for the Xbox. And I kind of wish I did the PS4 version because it supports the Pro with 4K.
Right. Yeah.
But back then, I think it was because they didn't have the hard drive support for PS4.
Right.
So most of the games I bought on Xbox, so I'm like, I'll just throw it on the external.
Yep.
And I'll save my PS4 hard drive for like the Uncharted and exclusive stuff.
No, that makes sense. Yeah.
Which I'm playing Uncharted Lost Legacy, or at least trying to.
Okay.
I think I made it through like the first like main chapter. Like they're on the roof, and that was part of the E3 demo a while ago and stuff. And it's Uncharted, but it's great. I mean, I've always loved the series, and even playing as Chloe, it's awesome. And it just looks great, and with the HDR, adds a whole new level.
That was one of those games like it came out, and I'm like, I want to get that, I want to play it, and I'm like, but I just got Everybody's Golf, and I had Madden sitting in my car. Like, I can wait until I'm ready to play this, and maybe the price will drop a few bucks.
Yeah, it might, especially since it came out at $39, and it seems like Sony products usually will go on sale in some at
Especially
some point.
Black Friday.
Yeah, or I mean, unlike Nintendo, where most of their first party stuff hardly ever goes on sale.
Never.
Unless they do the like select and then they they shrink the box.
Yeah, I was gonna say they mess the boxes up and make them so dumb.
And I'm trying to think of what else I've been playing. I keep trying to play Horizon. Yeah, I hear you guys talk about it a lot, and I have it, and it's just like I want to really sit down and like play it, but at least I know in Uncharted, like it has those like chapter beats where Horizon seems more GTA-ish, where it's just like I feel like I'm going to get lost, and I'm just not going to have the time to like have a good stopping point, to do it. So
that's like when it first came out. I think I ended up getting maybe through like 25% of the way through the game, and I had put like 30 hours into the game.
Yeah.
And then it got to a point where like I knew I was replacing my TV, and I did that. I was going to get a PS4 Pro, and I'm like, well, I might as well wait because it has the up-res and the HDR on the Pro. So, and eventually I have to get back around to that, but.
I could eventually borrow that from one of you guys, just so I can see it.
You could probably borrow it from me now. I don't think I'm going to get into it anytime soon. So.
I got to find time myself. I got plenty to play.
Right.
So.
And then usually like just kind of the little time I do play, I usually jump on any of the stores and just see what's on sale. See what's on there. And
then more to buy that I won't play.
And then if I have a few minutes, I'll just throw in a fighting game. Like something real quick, especially if it's like a downloaded one. Like Guilty Gear. Yep. I never bought on disc because it was on sale in the store.
So cheap too.
Yeah, so
you
just
can't
load Guilty Gear real fast. Play a couple matches and. Wow, this looks awesome, and then go to bed.
Thank you for that. Yeah. He's the one that kept bothering me to get every time Guilty Gear went on sale. He's like, "Hey, it's on sale again. Yeah. Hey, it's on sale again." This past time, I think it was like what, $7. I was like, "Hey, it's on sale again." I'm like, I'm getting it. Don't worry, I'm getting it this time. I'm finally pulling the trigger.
Even if you were to buy the newer update, the Rev 2, whatever, that's still $20. So it's like, the original $7 you did in the 20. It's still a no-brainer. Yeah, but. That game, man, it's just even for you too. Just the music.
Oh god,
it's just awesome.
For sure.
It's so good. But I think that's pretty much it. Anything else would be a stretch, just to kind of like just throw in and look at it,
For sure. Cool.
All right, so Steak, what's coming out in the next 2 weeks?
We're getting some big hitters here. Uh-oh. Here we go. Get ready to spend more money, people. Destiny 2 for PS4 and Xbox One, September 6th. NASCAR Heat, PS4, Xbox One, and PC, September 12th. NASCAR Heat 2, excuse me, it's a sequel too. Pro Evolution Soccer 2018 for PS4, Xbox One, PS3, 360, and PC, September 12th. Divinity Original Sin 2 for PC, September 14th. Dishonored Death of the Outsider for PS4, Xbox One, and PC, September 15th. NBA Live 18 for PS4 and Xbox One, September 15th. NHL 18 for PS4 and Xbox One, September 15th.
If people are interested in that, Best Buy is doing the trade-up offer like they do for Madden and FIFA.
Yep, if you trade it in, you get that $10 coupon if you trade in last year's game.
That's kind of cool how they do that.
Yeah. I mean, unless you're doing a big... you got to do something.
I'll say from my perspective, it works because every year I get the new Madden for like $30. Mm-hmm. I would not be getting that every year if I was paying full price for it.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd be getting it every 2 or 3 years, maybe.
Right.
And you're going to be getting that kind of set value, because like, I mean, I'm sure it's the same now, but back when we worked at GameStop, like as soon as a new one comes out, so many people traded in, and with like, I don't even know, a week, like days, the value just crashes.
Right.
And then,
$2.
And that's like, I know with the Madden one, you trade it in, they give you the $10 coupon, and they give you a $15 trading credit for the game, which at that point, when the new game's already announced and coming out in a month, you're usually not getting $15 for a game you trade in.
Right.
Yeah. Let's see here. Metroid Samus Returns for the Nintendo 3DS, September 15th.
I pre-ordered that.
Oh, yeah. I cannot wait. Cannot wait.
All the Switch owners are going to dust off their 3DS.
Yeah. I'm always playing my 3DS. It's very dust-free.
No, mine's pretty dust.
Yeah.
Mine's buried under my desk somewhere.
Yeah. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite for PS4, Xbox One, and PC, September 19th.
Did you do the collector's edition for that?
I did not.
Okay, because I really wanted to.
I really wanted to, but you know what?
What comes with the collector's edition of that one?
The really cool figures.
It comes with a Chun-Li figure, Mega Man X, Iron Man, and Captain Marvel figures, plus a case that lights up with the 5 Infinity Stones inside of it.
The figures themselves, they're
awesome.
pretty sharp.
Well, that's pretty cool because usually, like, you get a collector's edition like that, you get like one figure.
Yeah, well, that's why it was also like $150.
Yeah,
which actually is not bad for how much you get because a lot of these other ones are charging like $200.
Yeah,
and that's not terrible.
Do you know for that, are they doing? Does it include like a season pass or something? Because I thought I heard when they were announcing that,
I don't know
they
if
were gonna have a lot of
it's the
DLC
season
stuff.
I don't know if it's a season pass, but I know you do get like costumes and stuff.
Yeah, you definitely get extra costumes stuff. Yeah, but I'm not sure if it's extra like DLC or not.
Is the vibe around that game still that there's going to be a lot of like DLC characters you have to pay for later? Or are they kind of including everything right off the bat?
After Street Fighter V, I don't know how they're going to be doing that.
Yeah.
And like even a couple of the some of the YouTube channels I watch that like focus on fighting games, they're kind of still like, we don't know, because like even when on a select screen, like there's extra room for more characters.
Oh
so
yeah, right, absolutely, yeah. And Capcom's been very quiet about this, for considering it's coming out in the next couple of weeks, and like, I don't know, I just feel like they're not really hyping this that much. Like, I mean, usually, like, remember when Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3?
Yeah.
Like, you couldn't go to a week without some type of new news on that game.
Right.
So maybe they're just trying to keep it under the radar since Marvel vs. Capcom 3. I mean, like, when that first did come out, everyone was like, "What's this?"
Yeah, people lost their shit.
Yeah. And I'm kind of a little worried about this one. I'm not gonna lie, a little bit.
Yeah.
So I may hold off
I still want
until.
that collector's edition.
Yeah, I know. Oh, I know.
It's really nice.
Well, hopefully, other people hold off. We can get it for cheaper later.
Yeah.
Then last but not least, NBA 2K18 for PS4, Xbox One, the Switch, and PC, September 19th.
The Switch version is coming out the same day.
It's according to this, it is.
I read something the other day that said like the Switch version is beat for beat the same as the console version.
Yes.
Which
Yeah,
is
all the same features and
really.
like obviously graphically no.
Yeah, I think it may not,
but
the resolution won't go up to 1080, 60 or whatever it is on consoles.
Right.
Like they're not stripping out any game modes.
Yeah.
They're stripping out,
which is
many
awesome.
features.
Which is amazing.
Some people though I guess they're kind of upset that it requires an SD card though.
That's
that's
something I'd heard today. I was listening to a podcast on the way over here that there's the Switch for games that are physical. Some of them are going to start requiring SD cards, but the ones that do, it's going to be like clearly noted on the case
box.
saying requires SD card. And I guess even if you don't have it, you could still pop the card in and play something on it. It's not going to be the full game, but
okay, I got you.
Right,
okay.
that's right. That is what they said. Yeah, so like NBA, I think they're saying like you could still do like because like at the beginning of every 2K game they've got like that street area. Like you'll be able to do that and like something else, but like you won't be able to do like the career mode, the franchise mode, that kind of stuff. Honestly, I get it, but at the same time, SD cards are so cheap.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It's not like it's that much more expensive. Like, to get, like, I mean, you can get a micro 128 for, like, on sale for, like, $35.
Yeah.
Right.
And I mean, and that's quite a bit of amount of space because not all these games are going to require this. Like, you know what I mean? I mean, thankfully for like people like us, the Switch, well, not you because you don't have one right now, but but if you did, like people like us, like the Switch isn't our main system necessarily. Right. So like we aren't buying a lot of these bigger type games. It's like NBA. I know how that's going to look on PS4. If I really want that game, I have to get it on PS4 or Xbox One. Right. Like, it's going to look like, I mean, don't get me wrong, that would be awesome to have it on the road.
Right.
But, like, if I can get a good deal on the Switch version, I think I may eventually could potentially see myself getting that.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, for me, hockey's the one where I would jump all over if it was on the road. Like, I want portable hockey. That'd be amazing. But, I mean... I don't know. I don't think. I mean, it's a big deal, but I don't think it's that as big of a deal as people are kind of making it out to. Because, like again, like you said, memory's cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think too. I saw an article that I guess SanDisk is partnering with Nintendo.
They formed some kind of partnership with Nintendo. So
yeah.
So don't buy those ones because those will be expensive.
They'll probably be over.
I don't know if they're going to be Nintendo branded SD cards or.
I think they're supposed to
be.
I think you're supposed to see like Switch on them. Yeah. So do
Switch
not buy those.
Or whatever.
Yeah. Everything's gonna work fine. Don't fall for that.
Your system's doing well though. Like,
right. Absolutely.
That's an indicator that like they're doing this.
It is. It's doing really well. I can't wait to see what else. Oh god, I can't wait for Mario. Speaking of which, anyways, we're not gonna go down that path. So then our PlayStation Plus September games for free. For PS4, we're getting Infamous Second Son.
Good game.
I'm so mad. I just bought that for like $8 3 months ago. I'm so pissed.
You just said something. I could have loaned it to you.
Well, that was the thing. It was so cheap on that, like one of their flash sales, and I'm like, okay, I heard this looks really good in 4K and HDR. Like that was like back when I kind of just got my Pro, so I was like, all right, that's cheap. What the hell? Yeah, exactly. I played like 2 hours of it so far. Like it's like, damn it.
You could have just did First Light. which was
The
great.
problem was I totally forgot to
you never
redeem that.
redeemed it?
I didn't. That was back when PlayStation Plus was kind of new,
Yeah.
so I didn't always redeem everything every month. Just like
gotcha.
Ninja Gaiden for Vita, never redeemed that. I'm so mad because like I get the itch every once in a while to pop that in, and like to buy the physical copies. Like it's too much.
Yeah.
It's like $50. Also for PS4, Strike Vector X.
Real quick, I actually have that game.
Okay.
It's very good.
Yeah. It's like a shooter.
So what it is, it's kind of just like just imagine like I'm trying to think of like Unreal Tournament 2003, like on the PC, where it's just strictly multiplayer.
Yep.
But you're flying around in these ships, and it's fully 3D. And then I pretty much only just did deathmatch against the bots because I'm too afraid to go on the game. My ass handed to me and not have fun, you know.
Sure.
So, but even on like the normal difficulty, like the bots are still pretty challenging, and graphically it's great. Runs a little bit better on Pro with the boost mode, I think.
Okay.
And I don't think they like patched any HDR or anything in that.
Okay.
But it's just a lot of fun. It's just a fun shooter, very fast, and being able to, I think like L1 and R1 like hovers and lowers your ship, you know, so like you can, instead of just going left to right, you can go up and down and kind of do these like barrel rolls and stuff, and it's pretty cool.
Nice.
You know, to have that be a free PlayStation Plus game, and you know, the Sony store, even the Xbox store, like sometimes it is hard to find things.
Oh yeah.
And I just remember reading an article about it. And I'm like, hey, this looks kind of cool. You know,
Yeah.
It's kind of like, I wouldn't say anime, but like mech
style,
like
okay.
looking ships.
Oh,
you know?
cool.
So
I'll definitely give that a try then.
yeah, it's really cool.
For those of you that still own PS3s, Truck Racer for PS3 and Handball 2016 for PS3. I want Handball 2016. It's not on PS3 anymore. And then for PlayStation Vita, which are both of these are also cross-buy with the PS4, We Are Doomed and Had a Full Boyfriend.
Nice.
So for those of you that don't know How to Full Boyfriend,
Pigeons,
yep, pigeon dating game. Go back to I don't remember what episode that was that
was
we
one of
had.
the
It
early
was
ones.
one of our early episodes. Myke had to play it. So he gave a great review of it.
Yeah.
So look that up. We'll have to see if we can find which episode that was in.
One other thing that I read online somewhere was that rigs for PSVR is going to be free.
Yes, yes,
okay.
rigs for PSVR until November something, I believe.
Yeah, it's a limited window. It's not the whole month.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Google it.
Yeah, if you got a PSVR, grab rigs. Because if you didn't play that on the demo disc, that was really cool.
Yeah, I played it at Fred's house.
Yeah, yeah, that game's really cool. And then for Xbox games with gold for September, for Xbox One, we are getting Forza 5, the Racing Game of the Year edition for from September 1st through September 30th. You can download that, and then also Oxenfree from September 16th through October 15th. Another game I bought and I barely touched, and I've
always wanted to try that.
Yeah, the little bit I played of it was cool. It seemed really cool. That's definitely a Kernet game.
What's that one?
Oxenfree.
Oh yeah,
That
I think
is totally.
he might have played that.
I think he might have. And then for Xbox 360, that's also playable on your Xbox One. Hydro Thunder Hurricane from September 1st to the 15th. If you do not have that, that is awesome.
It's awesome on the Xbox, and it looks great on
Yeah.
the One. It runs faster.
Yeah.
VSync, like, because I think on the 360 it would like tear sometimes. So like it's just super smooth, lots of fun to play.
So much
I can't
fun.
recommend it enough.
Yeah, Hydro Thunder is so good. And then Battlefield 3, you can download from September 16th through the 30th.
I think I played Battlefield 3. I don't remember. It was
I know that was a long
ago.
time ago. 3. I don't know if I ever did
3
play that
Battlefields
one.
ago.
Yeah. I think I
Yeah.
bought that on the PC, and that was kind of like when I was starting to be like,
Yes.
oh, I got to start buying new hardware. And I
Nope.
never did.
I think I bought that on PC because a bunch of my friends had it and were playing it on PC.
Yeah.
And it was like I've never done FPSs on PC, and I bought it. Like sat there and tried going through the story mode with the keyboard and mouse, and I was like nope,
Yeah.
can't do it. Sorry guys, find me on the console. All right, extra. It's time for the news.
News.
We're just gonna kind of wing the news here because I have 2 items and
That's all right.
that's about it. Okay, so let's talk about the SNES Classic pre-order debacle.
Oh, man.
So this can go a long time.
Yeah, I was say this might take up
The
quite
day,
a bit.
the day after we recorded our last episode, but the day before we posted it, pre-orders went live.
And I made that comment during that
Yeah.
episode. I was like, pre-order should be going live any day now.
Yeah.
And then boom.
Yeah, they should be going live any day now. And by the time I got home that night and went to bed, what was it? Best Buy was the first one to go up.
Best Buy at like
Yeah,
so.
2:30 in the morning Central Time.
Yeah,
So by the time I
time.
got home and gone to bed,
Fuckers.
Best Buy had already posted and sold out. And then Amazon pulled some real shady shit that night, where they basically listed another SKU in their system and sold it there so that inventory tracking sites wouldn't catch it and set off alerts. But they also fucked everyone who signed up for email notifications.
Yep.
Which, I mean, I would have been asleep anyway, so it wouldn't matter. But that was really shady that they at least didn't do the email notifications.
Right.
So yeah, by the time I woke up that day, they were all gone. Then, of course, my whole work day that day was refreshing.
That was everyone's work day.
GameStop, Target,
God,
Walmart, they all posted and sold out within 20 minutes.
all day from the minute I got to work, while I was doing everything else, I had a tab open
Oh, you
for
were doing other
Target.
things?
Yeah, I actually was.
Sucker.
But I had Target open the whole time.
Yeah.
And I just kept, every once in a while, refresh. I'm like, out of all of these sites, Target's the one that hasn't really done it yet. Like out of the big
Right,
sites, I'm like, all right, this is gonna be the next one. I refresh, boom, there it was.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, do it. Clearing through everything, hit checkout. Nope.
Error.
Yep.
Error. Out of stock. It's like, are you kidding me? I'm like, it took me from the minute I hit add to cart, checkout, and then place order, had to be like 45 seconds,
Yep.
and it was gone.
Yeah.
Yep, I was in the same boat.
Like, what the
Let's see.
hell?
There was Target that twice I had it in my cart and tried to check out, and it errored out on me. GameStop, I got a text message alert. Their website crashed.
Yep.
And then they took them in the store.
Yeah, they let you pre-order in store.
Store by my work. Took 10 pre-orders. I
You
was
were
number 11.
Yep.
So sad.
Walmart, I think I was out to lunch when that one posted. But yeah, there was all that, and then I guess in the past couple days, people who have ordered from Walmart that ordered more than one unit are getting cancellations on anything past the one unit.
Good.
So I'm hopeful that they'll pop up again on Walmart.
Yeah.
Once that inventory frees up, maybe. But yeah, classic Nintendo.
I just don't- I
Classic
don't-
Nintendo, with the exception of websites crashing. That's
Right.
Well, that's just whatever, yeah. But I don't get it. Like, so they stopped making the NES Classic
Yep.
Yeah.
to get a head start on this.
Yeah.
And I hope to God that this is kind of more of a precaution thing. Like, only take this amount of pre-orders because
so we can sell it in the
just
store.
so we can either sell in the store,
Actual
or we know that we
yeah.
can definitely fill these, and we don't want the remember the 360 fiasco when that came out.
Yeah.
Like, we took way too many pre-orders. So for the next 3-4 months, anytime we got them in, we couldn't sell them to the public. We had to call
Fill the
people on
pre-orders.
our list.
Right.
Like, and we had to keep going down the list.
Yeah.
And so maybe it's along those lines, but it's like this is going to be the NES all over again. I have a gut feeling.
I'm sorry. It's weird because it's like, this always happens with Nintendo. And I mean, everyone's been talking about this, and we can always go through the same beats in terms of like, is Nintendo creating their own supply and demand, or are they just that incompetent to make enough? Like, I think it's just frustrating because nobody really knows the answer. Nintendo's not being upfront, with like, well, it's a supply issue, or like it's.
Well, I think like when the NES Classic came out, they at least had the benefit of the doubt of saying like demand far exceeded what we expected.
I get that.
Which I
Yeah.
mean, this time through, you'd think they'd at least expect similar demand, if
Yep.
not more.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know.
I say it's a Super Nintendo. Like, this was way more popular than the NES ever was. Like, I mean, this is this is like the system where everyone's like, besides Sega kids.
Right. Oh, no, I love me some Super. And
oh yeah,
this will go into our topic later.
but this is like, I mean, that's the main thing with like Super Nintendo. Is like, that's the system where everyone like really was starting to get into gaming, and like everyone's like, this had a lot of like the classic games on this system.
I think what's frustrating for me is that as a collector of video game stuff, where I mean, not only not being able to have this unit, but like having something like, I was a huge fan of the original Star Fox, and to not have Star Fox 2 now on that, it's
Right.
like, yeah, you can play around with it and
Sure.
stuff, but it's not the same. And just to have this be like an official
The official release
it's
of
just
it.
like,
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
all the more heartbreaking for me. And it's just
Yeah.
like, oh man, like it's so close.
Right.
So I mean, I'm hoping I can get one, but after the NES Classic, it's just like I'm not holding. Not too hopeful.
Like I said, what I'm hoping for is that this was just the pre-order numbers. Like this is just because even though it was hell, but I think they're going to get out there. I still think the supply is not going to reach the demand, but I think the supply will exceed the NES in the long run.
Yes,
I think for sure.
Definitely. Like some other things I had noticed about like the whole with them going on sale and some orders being pulled back. What's up, Cat? So GameStop on their site is
no cookies for you.
GameStop has come out and said like we've sold out of all of our pre-orders. However, on release day we will have more stock.
Yeah.
That we can offer. But another thing, like I mentioned, Amazon doing their shady crap. There were people after Amazon's put theirs on sale, like they're posting like screenshots of their orders, and I saw one where some person ordered like 99 units.
Oh my god, jeez. Okay, that's the thing. If they're gonna start canceling like some of these and everything, then it's like, okay, are these gonna go back up for pre-order, or are they just gonna hang on to these and just be like, no, we're just gonna day one, we'll just start selling these.
I mean, it's if they're gonna put them back up for pre-order, they have to do it unannounced because otherwise.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah.
If they announce it, they're guaranteeing their website's gonna crash. If they don't announce it, there's like a 95% chance their website's gonna crash.
Yep.
Whoever it is.
You gotta sit right on the mic. All right, I give you a chance to sit on the normal part of the table.
Sorry, Cat.
But yeah, I just don't know how they're gonna handle it. I mean, Toys R Us flat out said they're not taking pre-orders at all. So stop crashing their website.
So there you go. Well, so September 28th, get in line at like 6 p.m. if you want that.
That's the thing. Like, I want one. I'm not gonna go wait in line for 5 hours for
this
thing.
Right.
Yeah.
I could just as easily. I'll play the ROMs on my computer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't think I want to wait in line too because most of the people in line are probably just going to turn around and sell them online, and it's just like I don't even want to witness that. It's just like,
Well, that was the thing. Like when I got turned away at GameStop, I was so close to like yelling at everyone, be like, "You all better be fucking keeping this and not selling it."
Right.
Because like I'm so mad because there was a couple. Oh, absolutely, yeah. Because I saw the guy in front of me run. Like the minute I pulled it in the parking lot, I was parking. I saw him run into the store.
No.
It's like, God damn it!
You should have hit him.
I should have hit him, but like, I'll deal with that later.
Yeah. Hit him and just throw your insurance card at him.
Yeah. I'll be in here if you need me.
I will be in jail the whole time.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
It was an accident. I'm sorry.
Me scusi.
Yeah, the car got away from me. I'll tell you. All right, so moving on past that. Nintendo's announced that they will be discontinuing the Miiverse on 3DS and Wii U on November 7th. Does anyone care?
I'm sure there's some people that do, but personally, like
it was cool, but
Was it cool?
I mean, there was nothing to it. It was what was cool is seeing people's drawings on there. Like that was cool.
The cool thing was the people who put way too much time.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. But the nice thing is, like with Splatoon 2 on the Switch, a lot of people are doing that again, on their like little message thing. So it's like, oh, cool. So I still can kind of see what people are coming up with.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it doesn't matter. Like it is what it is. Like because there was no games that actually used it, right? Like that was just a pure community fun thing.
Yeah.
I've read or heard that people think this will really hurt Super Mario Maker. Because people would use Miiverse to leave like tips or notes on the levels that people would create.
Okay. I could see that. But I think I don't know. People get over it.
I think eventually, very quickly here, the Wii U is just going to be an afterthought.
Yeah.
It's pretty much an afterthought.
I was saying it pretty much is already. Yeah.
And eventually, I think that's one of those games that'll get re-released on Switch, and I'm sure they'll have some kind of solution for that type of thing by then.
I think the people that are really hardcore into Mario Maker, that community, they will find other ways to get those tips or share codes and different things like that.
Yeah, they'll find a message board or Reddit. Right. They'll all gather on it and exchange tips there. So
yeah, I don't think your average gamer is gonna be doing
that.
Yeah,
I don't think that's a big deal, but noteworthy, I guess. Mm-hmm. Only other thing I had for the news, which isn't even in my document, I just heard it on a podcast as I was driving over. Apparently, Microsoft has said that they're going to enable keyboard and mouse support on the Xbox One.
Oh, yeah.
And basically, they're going to enable it from their end, and then it's up to the developers whether or not they want to implement that support into their games.
Okay.
Cool. And they've placed no restrictions on it. Like, it's up to the developers and how they want to handle it, and that's that pretty much. Which makes me wonder if more and more between that and the Xbox Play Anywhere stuff, if more and more they're just moving to try to get people to be PC gamers and try to
maybe
because I don't think I don't think they've ever made much money on hardware, but if they get people to be PC gamers, they get Windows OS purchases, which I guess is kind of interesting for just where people think the future of gaming is going. But it's interesting because especially in like competitive like shooters and stuff, keyboard and mouse and controller are two completely different worlds.
Oh,
so
absolutely,
if one of those games is going to support that, they're going to have to do like different lobbies or something, or some way to filter that out. Because
when it comes to like actual competitive areas, like they're going to have to do that with the competitive stuff, like because they that will not go well with the MLG people.
Right. Yeah. But I forgot what it was. It wasn't important.
Well, side note, and maybe you can remember, but like, even with like having the different lobbies and stuff, I remember back to Dreamcast is more Sega support.
It's fine. You're making up for our past year and a half.
That is badass shirt too.
Oh yeah, my friend got me this.
That's awesome.
I represent. But with the Dreamcast, I had gotten the broadband adapter, and Quake allowed support for it and stuff. So I'm playing Quake with broadband, and everyone else is on 56K, and I'm not
owning people.
I was just wrecking people. Like, everyone was like accusing me of cheating, and I'm like, seriously,
you
guys,
were high speed internet.
I was saying at that time,
like,
yeah.
And I told him like I have the broadband adapter. You guys need to buy one. Like, this is awesome. But this is back, 2000, 2001, and that's when at least in our area where Comcast was starting to come out with broadband, so probably
it was still rather new.
Yeah, not a lot of people were having it, and it's just like you got to, it's like it's awesome.
Yeah,
But then it was frustrating where I don't remember correctly, and if Foos is watching this or listening to this, he'll probably get mad. I don't remember if Phantasy Star Online supported the broadband adapter on Dreamcast.
I want to say yes.
Did it?
I want to say it did.
I don't remember it.
Because I know people that have hacked and they still play it today.
Right.
So I'm assuming that it does.
Maybe it did.
Yeah, Foos would probably know.
Yeah. Well.
God, we need that new Phantasy Star.
Yes.
No, I remember what I was going to say. But with like I said, we have to the competitive lobbies are going to have to do like separate things for keyboard and mouse controllers.
Right.
But I wonder how many game developers are going to want to support that at the risk of fragmenting the user base.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. They have to be prepared to have either like the separate lobbies or have something in place for it.
Without knowing, what Microsoft's motivation behind this was, I have to think this is because of Battlegrounds coming to Xbox.
Oh, it has to be. Absolutely.
I think that's like the...
Yep.
Probably one of those things that Microsoft's been hearing people request for a while and been thinking about, and now with Battlegrounds coming, they're like, yeah, what the hell?
Right, exactly. They're trying to please everyone, and I wouldn't say that like it would backfire in their face, but it could create the issues of maybe not having the separate lobbies and just you have mouse and keyboard people just wrecking shop, and then people are not going to want to play, know.
But with like what Xbox has been doing recently with expanding their kind of cross-play between Switch and PC and stuff, I almost wonder if the Battlegrounds people are trying to work with them to do cross-play with PC.
Yeah.
That'd be insane.
If that means if that means they'll be playing against PC people with keyboard and mouse, and also if PC will then support controllers,
right?
Which controller.
I could see that.
People play on PCs typically don't play with controllers a lot,
right?
In games like that at least. So I think that would definitely be interesting. It would definitely be a way to get the user base up, like right off the bat.
Yep.
And it kind of seems in line with what Microsoft's been doing recently.
Yeah, no, I definitely, I think that's definitely a good reason why they would be doing this. And then also too, like they've got some MMOs coming out, like that Black Desert coming out on there and stuff. And like, a lot of people love their mouse and keyboard, especially for MMOs. Right. They've gotten better with the MMOs on controllers, like Final Fantasy 14 on PS4. I played that a little bit. That was actually really well done. ESO, Marvel Heroes. That kind of stuff. Like that stuff has worked out pretty well. But mouse and keyboard for MMOs and like those type of games are always going to be more supreme. There's more keys to assign everything to, and that's very essential when it comes to stuff like that.
I have Battlegrounds on my computer, and I've played it once or twice, maybe. And I'm still trying to figure out how they're going to map all the functions to a controller. Like, there's legit not enough buttons to do like all the different things that they do in the PC version. So, that's like you mentioned. It's getting better controls for MMOs.
Right.
It's a problem that I think that game in particular is going to see, and I'll be interested to see how they handle it.
Yeah, I'm curious because I think that might be my introduction into it. I might pick it up for Xbox because I don't
when it's
my
on
PC.
Xbox,
I just don't touch my
I
PC
will
really
definitely
anymore.
get it
So
on Xbox.
yeah,
if I thought I wouldn't get absolutely slaughtered, I would put in the time to figure out how to get a controller to work well. Yeah. But I see myself putting like hours into getting the controller working and then just going in there and getting my head blown off every 3 seconds, which that's just going to lead to anger. So
fair enough. Yeah.
All right, so
cool.
That's the news.
So
on to our topic. Joe, you're our guest. You got our topic.
Sure. So this was another hard thing for me. I can just talk about
anything.
Anything with games. So I kind of talked about it with Myke, and I guess, the one thing for me with I guess like my love for video games is like, we grew up, I'm 36. I'm sure you guys are close in age, that like we grew up with the industry, there was 2600 and stuff, but like NES came out. I'm sure most of us, that was the first system. I'm sure a lot of the listeners, that was their first system, or at least knew somebody that had it.
Atari 5200, thank you.
Nice.
But then it just goes from there. The NES, then Genesis, and then Super, and then we're reading magazines, and then 64, PlayStation, Saturn, and then the internet, and then like we all kind of just went along with the industry and see how it changes, and even changing now with DLCs and microtransactions, and then Xbox, with them doing the crossplay, and maybe they're gonna go that route, or games as a service and all these different things. So us going through that, I guess, journey of how video games, this industry has grown, like what are the games that like we remember the most, that like really got us into gaming or got us into a particular genre, or even something that just like happened while we were playing, like maybe you're in a downtime in your life, or or just had really good time with friends, just games that like you guys played and enjoyed, and
Yeah.
I hope I'm explaining it well.
No, yeah. No, absolutely.
In my head, so.
Basically, yeah. I mean, games that influence us.
Games that have been important to your life in some way, shape, or form, or impacted your life. I should say.
Much better than Wes.
No, you're good, man. No, absolutely, no. You're good. We'll go on to kick us off.
So I would say, obviously, like with the NES, like Mario, everyone played Mario, then like there's like other games, like I remember like New Year's Eve at my cousin's house, when the adults were doing their own things, like we were playing caveman games.
Yeah, okay.
If you guys ever remember that game.
Yep.
But, just games like that.
Frustrating
But, and probably would not be released today because you're throwing a woman by the hair.
Yeah.
So,
But, wonder if we can get a remake of that.
Right, HD. 4K. But
I will put some money towards kickstarting this. I will help kickstart this.
But I can go through a whole bunch, like Ninja Gaiden, like with just being 8-bit, but like just the cinematic style, and like, oh, this is so cool, and like Shadowgate, and like getting into that, kind of like RPG when it wasn't like super deep, but
right.
Like for me, like Legend of Zelda, just like, it sounds cliche, but like just that sense of adventure, and he didn't really handhold you, and like you kind of just went where you wanted to do, but like, I remember playing it with my who's now my stepdad, playing that, and like we beat that together, like I'll always like remember that, and like, even now I'm thinking about it, it's like a little emotional, but it's just like, but
for
that's,
sure.
That's kind of what the
absolutely
point I want to do with it, because like, especially back then in the early 80s, the NES was considered a kid's toy, but like to have these types of experiences, that like a lot of people didn't know because they just didn't give it the chance, or just thought it was like Mario, like that game can like bring us together, know, and it was just like so fun to play by myself, but then it's like I waited for him too,
right?
To play it with him,
for sure.
So, but that's like NES, and then Genesis, like Streets of Rage and Street Fighter, and like all these other games to play. But maybe let's just stick with like the NES, and maybe like
sure,
if you guys want to go kind of older systems, and maybe we'll work our way up to like some of the newer ones. But for me, I think Legend of Zelda, like that I remember the most, for those reasons.
Yep. No, absolutely. For me, it's Zelda for sure. Mm-hmm. That was the first time I played Zelda. I was like, what the fuck am I doing? Because it doesn't, like you said, it does not hold your hand at all. Like it just drops you in.
To this day, I can start that game up and go, what the fuck?
Yeah. But I will never forget, that was the very first time I ever used a guide in the Nintendo Power magazine. It walked me through the entire Lost Forest. It talked me through the whole thing. So that was the first time I ever used a guide. So like I won't forget that. But then also too, like I will never forget the first time I ever played Duck Hunt.
Yeah.
Like with the gun.
Yeah.
I was like, how is this? This is awesome. Like, how is this working? Like, this is so great. And then, like, I remember getting mad and be like, I'll be like, hey, I shot that duck.
Right.
Or I was like, what the hell's going on? And I put my gun on the TV and I'm pressing the button. See, I'm pressing it. but like when
that's where your anger started.
Yeah, that's where my anger started. Yeah, that's why you start to learn what anger was. But like just using the gun and that technology, I'm like, this is so cool. I'm like, this is something like how is this working? Like this is just insane.
Yeah. Yeah, when it comes to Nintendo, like the only game I can really think of that had any kind of impact on me was Tecmo Super Bowl, and that was just one that I would go. I'd go over to my dad's house, and me, my dad, and my stepmom, we'd like all pick a team, and we would just sim through the season and see who's team one. It was kind of like, I mean, it was all of us sitting there in the front room, just watching this go by, and waiting for our team's score to go across the screen, and be like, either be happy or disappointed about it.
It was preparing you for fantasy football later in life.
And I mean, it wasn't so much the gameplay, which that was the game that made me want to get a Nintendo, but just like a bonding experience with in that setting, which there weren't many in that household, but that was definitely one of them when I was younger, and like that was when my dad first met my stepmom, so it was that was all kind of awkward, and I think I was like 7 at the time, so that's awkward for a 7-year-old. But yeah, just like along those lines, it was nothing fantastic about the gameplay, nothing about the game itself even really, but just the experience I had with it in that household.
Right. Yeah, see, this is exactly what I wanted. You know, just things like that, because it's just like, you think back and like, you get all these like good memories, and different things. So like even just playing like, Genesis, like Streets of Rage with all my friends and Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition, because, obviously Super Nintendo had Street Fighter 2. And then I think Genesis got Champion, but then Super got Turbo after that. They got Turbo, and then they both got Super Street Fighter at the same time, So
the many Street Fighter 2s.
Right, the different iterations. And then my stepdad would always joke, is this the one with M. Bison with the new hat? Like, shut up, it's different.
It's faster. Right.
So you tell me he used that joke again with the Switch version.
He always does.
Yeah, nice.
Anytime you see Street Fighter.
Awesome.
Sounds like a good guy.
Then I'll show him like Street Fighter 5, like if he's over, like, hey, look how great this looks. Like, you remember how it used to look? And like he'll just throw the same joke, and I'm like, why do you even bother showing me? But he appreciates it,
Sure.
But yeah, but with like Genesis, like Streets of Rage, Street Fighter, I remember getting the Genesis and playing like Strider, with my stepdad, because like we saw that in the arcade, and my stepdad's really big in technology, so that's why he got me the Genesis, because he's like, this thing's super powerful, and it's got a Motorola chip in it, like I'm getting you this, I'm like, all right, let's do this.
At that age, you're like, yeah, whatever.
Bah, the Nintendo crap, you're getting this.
Yeah, they were out of Nintendo's.
I don't care what your friends have.
Yeah.
But even that, and then just like I guess it can count, but like even the Sega CD, like I wanted the Sega CD, like this is the feature, I'm getting this and blah blah blah. I didn't expect to get it. I got it one Christmas. It blew my mind. Like, I was so happy. Went to play it. Damn thing didn't work.
Oh.
Did not work. We had to go, and I think it was Christmas Day. They got it at KB Toys, and they found, my mom called, and they found one. I think it was like in Evergreen Park or something.
Okay.
And there was a KB Toys there, and they drove me there to go get one. to like, get it exchanged. Obviously, it wasn't busy because it was Christmas Day, and the person behind the counter wasn't happy, but...
You're making me do something today.
Right. But I got my
What
Sega
the
CD, damn it. And I played it, and I enjoyed it.
No, that's awesome. Yeah, no, I mean, I remember... So my first system I ever owned was the original Game Boy. The way I got it is because I sold so many magazines at school. And I had the highest prize thing was a Game Boy. And at the time I had no idea what it was. I had no idea what it was. I got it came with the Game Boy, and it came with that the speaker attachment, the magnifier, the big thing, the extended buttons to make them bigger and all this stuff, and the light.
You had a different Game Boy than I did.
Well, it was like the stuff you could attach
this is like a
to it.
Frankenstein
Yeah, and
thing you can put on
God, I need to find that. I don't know if I still have it. I need to see if I still have it somewhere because that shit's going for like $300. Like on
I
eBay.
definitely still have my Game Boy.
Yeah, it's insane.
But I found it at my parents' house recently, cleaning my car.
Oh, nice.
I need to replace some of the battery terminals on
Yeah.
it. Apparently I left batteries in it.
Yep. I had that many times.
I looked online and it's like,
those things are
super
built.
easy to replace.
It is. Yeah. I hear it's really easy to replace the screen too, to put like a backlight screen on one of those. I mean, you have to know how to weld, but it's pretty easy.
I'm out.
Yeah.
Soldering, welding.
Yeah.
I'll put the soldering iron through the screen and I don't know why it's not working.
But I just remember getting that for the first time, and I'm just like, "What is this?" Like, and then like, it didn't come with any games or anything like that. I'm like, "What am I supposed to do?" That I remember, like, I came home from work not work. I was I was in second grade. I came home from work. No, I
came home
can't.
from the salt mines.
Yeah,
Walked both ways uphill in the snow.
I came home from school, and like that later that night, like. You know, my mom's like, "Oh, you done with your homework?" I'm like, "No, not yet." But you know, I'm like, "You better get done with your homework before your dad gets home. He's gonna be mad." Usually, I'm like, "All right, fine. Get my homework done." Well, that's because my dad at his lunch break went out and got me Super Mario Land for Game Boy.
Okay, that's
so
cool.
I was like, that was my first game ever, was Super Mario Land, and like I remember, I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like, what world am I getting into? Like, this is so awesome. But then I remember the very first game I ever beat was Link's Awakening on the Game Boy. That was the first game I ever completed. And it was just like, I remember that feeling. Like I finished, I yell into my mom and dad, I finished it, I beat it, I beat the game. That's great, son. Good for you.
Good, your homework done?
Yeah, get outside now.
Mom's not gonna cut himself.
I think it was like a Saturday, like afternoon or something. But like that was awesome. That was such a great feeling.
Yeah.
Along the same lines of the Game Boy, when I got mine, it came with Tetris. And for the longest time, that was the only game I had. But I remember, like, that was the first game system I had at my mom's house. I lived with my mom, and like we'd actually sit there and take turns playing and pass it back and forth. And my mom is not a video game person at all. Like all through my childhood, I tried getting her to play them, and like she would reluctantly give it a go and be like, "Okay, you play, have fun." But it was one of those things. It's like back then it didn't. It was like, whatever. Take your turn, and like she'd be playing. I'm like, God, die already. I want my turn. But it's like looking back on it now, I was like, that was that's kind of cool. She went out of her comfort zone and tried to do something with me that I enjoyed, rather than just like you see today, a lot of parents are like, here's the iPad, go away, leave me alone. Like she was like interactive with it, and we go back and forth, and it was looking back on it now, I appreciate it. But back then, I was just like, die already. Give me the Game Boy.
Come on.
That actually reminded me of going back to the Genesis. We're going to be moving forward, but my mom would always play columns. And it would be my mom, my stepdad, and me, and we would just rotate and just play columns, because I think that was one of the games that came with the Sega CD. And it was like just the same as the Genesis, but it had like CD quality.
It was pretty.
Yeah.
It looked a little more colored. But, maybe some scaling rotation. I don't know. But, but yeah, just having stuff like that. And even now, like it just reminded me of that, and we had fun playing that together. And I don't even think we were at our house yet. We were still at my grandparents' house, 3 people on a small bed. Just playing it. And that was fun. And then after a while, I'll be like, okay, leave. I want to play Streets of Rage. Get out.
My turn. Just me.
Right.
Okay, this game's boring. Leave.
Yeah.
So, I guess we're in PlayStation era now?
Yeah, kind of around there. Yeah, around there, yeah.
So, I remember this specifically because now we're getting older.
Yeah.
And I remember saved up money, and it was like, okay, do I want a Sega Saturn, which came out early, surprised everyone, or a PlayStation that was coming out? And I'm just like, PlayStation looked pretty cool, Ridge Racer, Ballerina to Shinden, and I'm just like, oh man. But I remember I think it would have been Tinley, the Kmart was closing to open up the Super Kmart, and everything in the store was 50% off.
Oh, nice.
So I'm like, we're going there, I'm buying a system, like I'm telling my parents, I'm like, you don't understand, like the system's half off, the games are half off. Like, I got enough for
this
the
doesn't
system.
happen,
Like, can you help me buy a couple games and I'll pay you back? Hey, yeah, sure.
Sure.
We go there, PlayStations were gone. So I'm like, I'm getting a Saturn, but I got like a Saturn and like 6 games, and like it was just like, it was so awesome, that they have all this. And then that was the first system that I bought myself,
right?
And then it's just like everything after that, playing it and having friends come over. Like I remember playing Tomb Raider.
Oh yeah.
Came like I saw it in the magazines. I'm like, this looks great, you know, like, this is awesome. And I remember going to Best Buy to buy it. My uncle drove me there. I bought it, and then the guy's like, "You want to buy this game with a girl on the cover?" I'm like, "Hell yeah, I do!" Like, this was awesome. Like, he almost didn't want me to sell the game. It was like a girl's game, you know. I'm like, no way, man! Like, I am buying this game. Like,
that guy would be crucified on the internet now.
I was gonna say today, nowadays, yeah.
You know, but I'm like, I don't know. And then just having my friends come over and like trying to figure it out, you know. And then one other story that I'm thinking of too that was really funny when we got it. So I had gotten the Saturn, and my one other friend wanted to get the PlayStation, and like he was waiting for it and stuff. And it was summertime. I was at home, and I was actually mowing the lawn, and my dad was at work, my mom was at work. My friend comes screaming up with his mom, "Joe, we're gonna get a PlayStation. We're going to Toys R Us right now." And I'm like, "Oh shit!" I just leave. So my mom comes home. The lawnmower's still in the grass, half cut. The shed's open.
So she thinks you've been kidnapped.
Yeah, the shed's open. I think I may have locked the house.
Yeah, maybe.
But maybe. I honestly don't remember though. So all of a sudden, I'm at my friend's house. We're playing. You know, we had gotten the PlayStation. I think about the PlayStation, Resident Evil, and a memory card.
Oh, nice.
So we're playing Resident Evil. Dog jumps through the window.
Yeah.
You know, like moments like that too. You know, like you don't forget, especially like who you're with at that time. We're there. All of a sudden, phone rings. We're playing. Joe. I'm like, on the phone. Come back in. Yeah.
Where are you?
I gotta leave in 15 minutes. I'm just coming to pick me up. Looking back at it now, it's just like that probably wasn't the smartest thing to do.
A non-cell phone era.
Right. You know, but even that era too, it's just like, I think because then, like mowing the lawn and stuff, and then I think I start working at GameStop. It was like Christmas of '97.
Okay.
And then that's like, obviously making money at GameStop. Like I was buying games there with the discount, and I remember like even on Saturn, Panzer Dragoon Saga was coming out, and I knew it was hard to find. Like I was calling every place, and GameStop had it. Well, it was Babbage's at the time.
Okay. And
I called my manager, and I'm just like, "Hey, did we get in Panzer Dragoon Saga?" She's like, "Yeah, we only got 2." I'm like, "Can you save me one?" She's like, "No."
What's that? You work here? No.
Right. Now, granted, I've only been there for maybe like 2 weeks. So I'm just like, oh, okay. I left early. I'm like, "Mom, I'm going to work now." She's like, "Isn't it early?" I'm like, "No time to explain."
I gotta go.
It's a work thing. I
ran the Toys R Us, which was right by the mall. They had one copy left. I snagged that sucker, and now I had my copy of Panzer Dragoon.
So nice.
You
so
good.
You
have to work and like, we held this copy for you. Like, I went and bought it.
Yeah, right.
I got it from Toys R Us.
Yeah. I actually think they were gone by the time I got there. So clearly
good.
people wanted it.
Yeah.
It was still just like, oh, man, you wouldn't say that for me. But I got so many stories with this era. But like those are things that just, stick out with me. And, I don't think any, like PlayStation, Saturn, like there's no like, I guess like emotional thing like Legend of Zelda and stuff. I think like PS2, Xbox, that kind of changes a little bit, at least for me.
Yeah.
But
no, for sure. But yeah, with the PlayStation era, like so PlayStation was the first home console that I had.
Oh, okay.
So for Christmas, basically, by this time, I already know the whole deal with Santa and whatnot.
Yeah.
So my parents were basically like, all right,
what do you want? What's the deal with Santa?
We'll talk later. We'll talk after.
That's a whole different podcast.
Oh, poor Artie. So basically my parents were like, all right, what do you want, PS1 or Dreamcast? Because the Dreamcast just came out in 99.
Yeah.
And I'm like, like, what do I want? I'm like, this is so hard because I really wanted the Dreamcast. But I'm like, but if I get PlayStation, they'll buy me more. Because like it was cheaper,
right.
at the time. Like, and there's more games and everything like that. So it's like, all right.
You were late to the PlayStation.
I was. I mean, I played my cousins a lot. My cousin had it, so I played that a lot. So like, all right, I want PlayStation. I want Dino Crisis because that was the hottest new like Resident Evil type Capcom game. Mm-hmm. I want Dino Crisis, and I want Final Fantasy VII. Mm-hmm. Right? Yeah, that was that year, right? Yeah, I think.
Maybe, I don't know.
I think so. I'm pretty sure it was Final Fantasy VII.
Final Fantasy VII. I'm
trying to remember what year did that come out.
That might have been 97.
That might have been 97. So yeah, so 99. So yeah,
99. Final Fantasy 8 came out the same day as the Dreamcast.
Yes, that's right. So
$9.99.
Yes.
Yep.
So I got Dino Crisis, I got Final Fantasy VII, and then and then 2 days after Christmas, I went out and bought Final Fantasy VIII.
Okay.
Because I played Final Fantasy VII with my cousin, and I was like, that was my entrance into RPGs, full on like RPGs like that. And I'm just like, this is on and like 8. I remember how much I just played 8. Like it was insane. And then Final Fantasy 9, of course, my favorite Final Fantasy. If you guys listen to other podcasts, you've heard
The last podcast.
yeah, was it just the last one? Yeah, it was. Yeah, but yeah, no, like Final Fantasy. Oh, that's because we did our PS1 Classic. Final Fantasy 9, like my favorite. So like but then all the other RPGs, like that got me into the whole genre and everything, which was just amazing. Like I was just like, oh my god, like this is like anytime someone would yell at me for not reading a book, I'd be like, yeah, I'm playing one, so shut up. Right. I'm playing a book instead of reading one. I'm reading fine.
I'm living it.
Yeah, I'm living it. Yeah, exactly. I'm in the middle of the world. I could visualize it. But yeah, just the PlayStation era was just like that. I never wanted a 64. Like my buddy had one. I was like, nope. If I ever want to play 64, I go with my buddies. We'll play 64. I want PlayStation. This is what I want. And
oh man, I got a lot of 64 stories too.
Oh yeah.
That's fine. Keep going.
but just like PlayStation, just getting that, I was just like, holy crap! Like this looks amazing and everything. And like, I remember having like the memory cards. They had two sections where you had to hit the button and like get like we talked about this, the corruption of them because of everything and losing.
They were the third party ones.
Yeah, the third party ones. Because I never had the official ones. I think I only had those. I'm like, oh, these are bigger. I don't want that. I want more. I want more space.
This is like 8 memory cards.
Yeah, exactly. I just keep hitting the button. Keep hitting the button.
What could go wrong?
I was younger. I had no idea.
I lost 40 hours of Final Fantasy VII.
That's just brutal. I would have cracked the disc in half. But just like PlayStation in general, like that's when my gaming hit peak. Like that was like I was all in on the whole gaming front.
Yeah.
As far as PlayStation, the only one that really comes to mind is Final Fantasy VII. That's like just because that was the first game I played that was like it was a story-driven game with a deep story.
Right.
Like prior to that, most of my gameplay had been sports games or platformers.
Right.
Which I mean, it's Nintendo platformer, so there's not a huge story.
Right. Exactly.
Rescue the princess or whatever.
Right.
The story is. That was the first game I played where it was like the story's a huge part of what's going on here. Mm-hmm. If you play that game just to go between the battles from part to part, it's gonna be a really boring game. Mm-hmm. So that kind of opened up like a whole new world of like, oh, maybe these games aren't all crap. Maybe a story-driven game is worth playing. Right. Which I think even that's more of a thing now for me even than back then. It's one of those things like as you get older you realize all this stuff. And that was like the year it came out. My mom got it for me for Christmas, and it was like she has to call. I've told this a million times in this podcast, but she has to call at work like, "Hey, what's a good video game to get for my son?" Right. And he's like, "Oh, I got him Final Fantasy VII." And like I think he gave her his guidebook for it. Okay. Like here, give him this too. He's gonna need it. Yeah. And that's she gave it to me. It was like I'd never heard of Final Fantasy. Right. And like it was 3 discs. I'm like, what is this?
What's happening here?
She's like, the guy I work with, who I bought all the Nintendo games off. He said this is a really good game, and to get it for you. Yeah. And I think she told me, she's like, if you don't like it, let me know. I'll return it. I'll get you whatever you want. Whatever game you want. I ended up playing it. Yeah, like I said, it's one of those things like you actually play it for the story, not the. Usually like it gets to a point in that game too where you're on the world map where the battles just become tedious and a pain in the ass. Like stop interrupting me. I just want to go to the next place, do the next thing to get the story moving. Without that, I'm not sure I ever would have tried playing the Uncharted games or The Last of Us or the more modern stuff like that. I mean, I don't play the Final Fantasy games anymore just because I don't like the fighting, the way the fighting is in them now. I like the turn-based stuff back then. Right. But without that, I'm not sure I would have ever given the more modern stuff a chance. Yeah. And just hearing stories like that, like you had mentioned, with like it being like cinematic and stuff, and just obviously with the video game industry growing and the technology growing and these developers taking advantage of it, it's like, we grew up with it. Like we obviously became older as time passed on, but I think they weren't making the games for us getting older, like, oh, we're going to totally cater to the kids that grew up with Nintendo. I think they were just leveraging the technology and being able to use this to tell these better stories and whatnot. And they did it with like the Final Fantasies on NES and Super, and those are good games in their own rights for people that enjoyed them. I never really played them, but just to kind of
see it on a more cinematic level on your television, you know, with the full motion video and and the soundtrack, and you know, like it's full orchestra.
And that's the thing too with Final Fantasy VII. That when I first popped that in, and they go through that opening cinematic, you know, where you're going through the train ride and they jump off the train. That was like ridiculous graphics for a video game.
Absolutely.
Even if you watch it now, it's still not terrible.
Right. Oh yeah.
And if you take in consideration that that's a 20-year-old game at this point, you know, that was definitely something different than, you know, little football players running across the street.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. All right. So what would be next? So,
PS2, Xbox, GameCube, right?
I'm gonna separate back here.
Of course.
Nintendo 64.
Yes, I never owned one, so I'm glad you mentioned it. I played
so I did, and that was my first exposure to like multiplayer gaming. Like not just, you know, passing the controller back and forth playing Mario, but like GoldenEye, all the wrestling games they had.
Yeah,
you know,
Mario Kart 64.
Yeah, Mario Kart 64. You know, the system came with, you know,
same 64.
4 ports in the front, which you know every other system only ever had 2, and it was one of those things I get. I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna use 4 ports for?
Right.
And I had a hard enough time getting a second player to play a game, and then next thing you know, it became like a thing to do. Like, hey, we're gonna get together at, you know, Bob's house, and we're gonna play some GoldenEye tonight.
Then
you're sitting there playing, and you're like, you look at my screen, you cheating bastard. But like that.
I did
was,
many friendships back in the day.
Yeah.
A lot of people getting whipped with Nintendo 64 controllers. But just that was like, that opened up a whole new type of gaming to me.
Right.
Like I never, you know, playing games online now, I never would have thought of doing that possibly without having that, you know, couch, you know, 4-player experience playing against each other. You know, you play a wrestling game and one guy's way too good. It's like, all right, all 3 of us are getting him.
Attack.
And just, you know, like the moments you create with your friends. That good and bad. You know, like you remember all that stuff. You know?
Absolutely.
See, this is exactly what I want.
Oh yeah.
This is what I hope would happen.
For sure.
According to plan.
Yes.
You know, so I guess before we jump to the next generation, which would be like PS2, Xbox, GameCube. Let's bring it back to Sega and do the Dreamcast before it's on time.
It's its own era. There was nothing else in that era.
You know, because like Dreamcast, like, you know, obviously everyone has their opinion on it. I think it's one of the greatest systems ever. All my friends know this. You know, other people listening to this that know me know this. You know, but it's just like, you know, having those games with the 4 players, whether it be like, you know, Monkey Ball or, you know, some of the sports games, and, you know, the VMU, you know, with NFL 2K, where you didn't have the plays on the screen, and it's like, take that, you bastard! You can't see my play now. You know, you still had to squint.
You could barely read it, but okay, wait, am I picking the right play? Is this what I want?
You know, but other games too, you know, like Power Stone, and, you know, like just having those games, and then, you know, the Dreamcast kind of taking it up that level, you know, with the graphics and stuff, because that's when it was starting to leverage the PC architecture. They can have like a Power VR graphics card in there, you know, and it's just like, you know, modified version of Windows CE, and, you know, it was going that era. Then obviously you saw that with maybe not so much PS2, but obviously with the Xbox and GameCube, because did they have like IBM and ATI stuff in there? You know, so it was just going that way. But, you know, Dreamcast just so many games, and I'm going to cheat right now. I'm going to read my list real quick.
I knew you'd find a way to stick this list in.
But, you know, just games like, you know, Soul Calibur, you know, seeing that like as a launch game and playing that, even though it was only 2 players, just everyone just rotating out.
Yeah.
Oh, that was Soul Calibur was always classic.
Right. You know, Jet Grind Radio, you know, just like just visually, it was just different. And, you know, like, who makes a game about graffiti? You know,
right.
Mark Echo.
Mark Echo.
God. Oh my God. Mark Echo.
In back-to-back episodes, we've had a Wu-Tang style and getting up a Mark Echo reference.
This seems to be a common thing going forward. We need to come up with this.
If I had a PS2 list, 50-cent Bulletproof.
Blood in the sand.
God. The amount of copies we sold of that fucking game.
I was surprised.
Jesus. We could have kept it in stock.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. You know, but then Marvel vs. Capcom 2, another great fighting game. Crazy Taxi, taking turns, getting a higher score. They had those like modes where like how many pins you can knock down, or like, how far you can jump, and, you know, different things like that. But you know, then there's other ones too. But I guess it would be more the multiplayer stuff, like you had mentioned with the N64. But PS2, you know, Xbox. I think I got the PS2 first. I think I primarily bought it for the DVD player.
Okay.
Because I was still like Dreamcast mode.
Yeah.
And really the PS2 launch, when you think about it, really wasn't that great. like SSX was cool. I mean, at least for me, you know, like in Madden, you know, I wasn't really a sports gamer, you
Sure,
know, and then
sure.
like Summoner.
See, Summoner, man, come on.
Layers, you know, like none of that really did it for me.
Garbage. That game was fucking garbage. I was so excited for it. It was fucking garbage.
Remember we couldn't keep the memory cards and like,
yeah.
They had a shortage. Of memory cards. But
God.
you know, so like I think I got it for the DVD player, and I think I got SSX, you know, and then it was like, oh, Gran Turismo's going to be next year, and then obviously we know what happened many years after that.
But that was the best Gran Turismo
3.
Oh
yeah,
in my
yeah,
opinion,
yeah.
that's the most. That's the one I put the most hours into.
Yeah, and it looked incredible.
Oh God,
you
yeah.
know. But for like PS2, you know, in the early days, it wasn't a whole lot, but I guess like just other things. I guess really the only thing that really stands out for me, like in that system, would be like Eco and Shadow of the Colossus. Like playing those games, you know, like they've been talking about, but like just playing it by yourself, kind of just zoning out, getting sucked into the story and that environment and stuff. Like it just totally different experience.
Yeah.
You know, than playing like you know, State of Emergency or something. You know, it's just
State
it's
of
just a different type
Emergency.
of game. You know, and then obviously like you can't deny the influence of a game like Grand Theft Auto 3, you know, and different things like that. But you know, for me, like kind of the, you know, because the PS2 back then too had kind of like those really weird games, you know, those weird Japanese games.
Oh yeah,
that
Mr. Mosquito.
you really don't see a lot today, you know. So like Eco, Shadow of the Colossus, Katamari Damacy, you know, they brought out really cheap.
Yep.
You know, things like that, like I remember a lot. And then Xbox, I remember being really excited for, and just multiplayer matches with Halo.
I was gonna say, yeah, the original Xbox, that was like the start of like online
Right.
multiplayer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
gaming.
even just doing LAN parties, you know, like like instead of
Oh
bringing
my
your
God.
big ass PC and big ass monitor, I can just bring in, you know, these
So
smaller systems, even though the original Xbox was still big, you know,
Yeah.
but like bring those with, hook those up on TVs, and just have some great multiplayer stuff.
absolutely. So let me pause for a second here.
Okay.
So the GameStop. So me and Joe used to work at GameStop together.
Yeah.
So the GameStop crew, we used to have LAN parties.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, these would be so like we haul our giant computers with
Yeah,
us
oh, yeah.
at someone's house, and we would play. I mean, like just whatever. I mean, Return to Castle Wolfenstein,
Yes.
Battlefield 1942. Those were the two big ones that we
Yeah.
played a lot.
Battlefield we played a lot of.
Yeah, we played a lot of those too. But I will never forget the time. So I was quote unquote younger. I mean, I was like 16.
Yeah.
So, and, you know, my folks had no idea. And so I remember when Noek had one, and I brought my stuff over to his house and everything. And like my parents wanted Noek's parents to call my parents to let them know they're going to be home, like, and be there and everything like that. So I had Matt, like, hey, Matt, you got to disguise yourself as your dad and call my parents and let them know that you're going to be home all week. So he's like, this is whatever his name is, just letting you know that I will be here all week. I was like, that was the funniest thing in the
I
world.
forgot about that.
Oh my God, it was so funny. Yeah, like the LAN parties. Okay, yeah, then when we started able to do just the Xboxes, I was like, all right, this is a lot easier.
Yeah.
This is so much easier to hook these up, just bring over our box.
You can throw all that stuff in a backpack or a duffel
Oh,
bag or something.
exactly. Instead of like hauling the whole computer over, I was like, oh, it was such a pain in the ass.
I got one
computer
quick-
monitor.
One quick Xbox LAN party once. So we were playing Halo, and we actually did it where this is at my friend's apartment, where one group was on one TV, big ass, because I think the official Xbox system link cable was just a crossover cable,
Right.
But it was like super long, so we just ran that to the other system in the other room. So you had two factions going at each other, and I was in one, and my friend was in the other one, and we were playing. I forgot the map, but it was symmetrical, and in each corner they had these like towers, and that's where the flag was for capture the flag. Well, my friend was on the opposite team, and they were about to score the last point, so he was going to his base with the flag. I was on the other side of the map. I just spawned. I found a rocket launcher. I'm like, I'm just going to do it. I fired off the rocket launcher to where I know the flag needs to go.
Uh-huh.
So you just see that rocket going, and he's walking. And I didn't think anything of it. You know,
Right.
I'm just trying to race over there. Like, maybe there'll be enough time where I can, like, snipe him with a pistol or something. It hits them. Match is over. They lost. All of a sudden you hear, motherfucker! Boom! Smash the controller.
Oh, that's awesome.
Just stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, and that was even still where like, you know, video games was still not like it was getting bigger. You know,
Yes.
like PlayStation did it, and you know, like it was getting the more mature audience, like
Right.
Final Fantasy, Metal Gear, you know.
Yep.
But like LAN parties, like what the hell is this shit
Right.
playing online, you know?
Right.
And to have memories like that, you know, it's just like how many people missed out on that.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, and just
Absolutely.
stuff like that. I'll never forget. You know,
Yeah.
and I forgot what I was gonna say. Because there's just so much stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So
No,
much
for
stuff,
sure.
You know.
I mean, I remember when I got my PS2. So I got home from school, and there was a bag just sitting on the table. And like my mom, it was like a Marshall Fields bag, and you know,
That's
and yeah. I think it was. No, I think was it Marshall Fields? I'm trying to remember what it
I
was
didn't know if you were
now.
trying to disguise it for you. Or...
My PS2
Maybe.
came from Sears.
Yeah. So I'm trying to remember which one it came. I don't remember, but it was in a bag. It was in a green bag. So that's why I was thinking Marshall Fields.
Yeah,
I'm like, it
yeah,
had to be
yeah,
Marshall
green
Fields.
bag,
And then like all of a sudden, like you know, I'm just walking in. I'm not paying attention. I go over to the other side of the table, and I notice like the blue box inside. I'm like, what is this? I'm like, this is a PS2. Mom's like, oh yeah, they actually had one because that was, you know, PS2s were kind of hard to get.
Yeah.
So she's like, oh yeah, I saw it in stock, so I figured you'd want it. I was like, hell yeah, I wanted this. Like, this is awesome. Like, I had no idea, no way. I was like, holy shit. I'm like, this is amazing. So that was just an unbelievable memory of that. And then then the original Xbox was the first system I bought.
Yeah.
Myself, I bought it used. That's when I started working at GameStop, because you guys were all Xbox people, so that's where I got into really Xbox. I remember the first 3 systems I bought were messed up and not working, because I bought a used, so I at least was able to exchange them out.
Right.
But the first 3 ones I had were all messed up and like not working correctly, and it was that was a pain in the ass. But I will never forget playing the original Phantom Dust.
Yeah.
You, me, Foose, and Wes.
Yep.
And like,
That was a good time.
oh my god, this game! I mean, that's why like before I was always talking about it. Like this game, it was so much fun playing multiplayer, especially with all of us. We would always just be trashing the whole time. And I will never forget the time Wes was like, "How do you like your buttons scrambled?" And then because there was a card that scrambled all your buttons and everything, I was like, "Oh my god, like this is great." But yeah, I will just never. That was just so much fun. And then did you download the Xbox One?
Yeah.
Did you play a little bit of it?
Yeah.
God, that frame rate sucks. It is not good.
Yeah.
It doesn't run very well.
Yeah.
But it brought back good memories still.
Yeah, it's there.
Yeah,
It
it's
was free.
there. Yeah, exactly. It was free. Can't
Let's hope
complain
for the
that one.
second one still. You know.
I hope so.
Oh, yeah, hopefully that comes out.
It's funny you mentioned the PS2s, but then you mentioned the broken Xboxes and how the PS2 was hard to find. My mom got me my PS2 for Christmas. It was when they were still hard to find, and she got it from like the Sears in Ford City Mall, which if you're from around the area where Ford City Mall is not,
You
the best
don't
place
go
to
there.
be. Yeah. But there was something wrong with the PS2. And I was like, well, I got to exchange this. So it was like I was in college, so I was old enough to drive. So I drove there, and like I walked in the store with like under my jacket.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You didn't want anyone knowing what you
I walked in
had.
there and like I gave it to him, like, you know, here's the system. I'm like, I don't even remember what was wrong with it.
Yeah.
But I'm like, here's a system, it's defective. Do you guys have another one I can exchange it for? They're like, yeah, just go over there. We'll, you know, have it brought out for you. And so I sat there for a half hour, and finally it came out. And I'd never sprinted so fast as I did back then. I was football, and I was running like friggin' Walter Payton through the parking lot. I got in my car, I locked the doors, and then I'm like looking around. And I'm like, all right,
We're good. Let's get out. Let's get out here. That's awesome.
Like, they were rare enough to find that you were hearing stories of people like getting robbed.
Oh yeah,
no,
that was the first time you really heard about like that kind of stuff happening, like for a system launch.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I just remember working when it was out, and there was a shortage of systems, you know, and memory cards were hard to find. And
I remember the slim PS2s. People were going shit crazy for
don't even get me
those.
started on
Oh
PS2s.
my god! People were acting like it was a brand new system. It's like this is just a revamped PS2.
So real quick for people who didn't work at a video game store.
Oh my
during this time,
god!
like, with the slim PS2, like,
I just wanted to kill everyone that walked in.
I couldn't tell you
You
how
just
many.
described my job.
I couldn't tell you how many people would come in, you know, especially parents, and you know, I'd always do my best to like really help them out, especially during Christmas, like they want to get something for their kids, and I'm
and
excited
then you
about
got grandparents coming in too that don't know what they're doing.
Grandparents are
Yeah, it's our job to help.
And as much as you complain about retail, like those moments did make it fun and enjoyable, because obviously you're passionate about it. You want to tell them, and you made their day, and you made whoever they're buying the gift for, super happy. So they're like, well, what's this new PS2 Slim? Just new model system? It's just slimmer. Yeah, but my kid really wants it. It's great, but there's no difference compared to their system right now. If it was faster, I would let you know, or if the video output was better,
right?
Like even with the 360s, like they added HDMI, something.
Yeah.
It's literally just smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he really wants it.
Okay.
Yeah, but you could probably buy at least 3 games for the cost of maybe more.
Yeah, I'll say,
it might have been more.
Yeah.
Still might have been $2.99. So you buy probably like 4
Listen,
games.
if you want it, I have to sell it to you.
Right.
But listen to the words coming out.
And I would probably say 75% of the people that asked for it, like in that capacity, just bought the system.
Yep.
Other people actually listened, and they're like, "Oh, well, I'll just give them a couple games." Yeah, games, controllers, whatever. Some people wanted it because they wanted to put it in their car. It was smaller.
Fine. Like,
I get
right.
it.
Oh, sure, absolutely. But the way people,
good for you,
God, everyone was treating it as a brand new fucking system.
Yeah, and it's like, I think it was more frustrating because you were genuinely trying to help them.
Right. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Because it was just like, it is not. There's literally no difference.
Yeah.
Like nothing.
Yep.
Like even the Wii Mini. Like they took stuff out. If I was working at GameStop or Best Buy or whatever at the time, I'd be like, look, this is a Wii Mini. They rebranded it. Whatever. Maybe it is. It's smaller, but you're missing stuff.
Right.
Like don't buy this unless you really literally just want whoever you're buying it for just to play these games. But
that's
like,
it. Right.
You can't do anything else. No. Did they have any support for apps? Or
there was no online. There was no online at all for that with that mini version of it.
So it's just like, but yeah, that was so frustrating with the.
Yeah.
But yeah, like even that era, like there's still so many good things. Like just thinking of like regular Burnout and Burnout 2, and then you go to. Well, wait, that's PS2. So.
Yeah.
Oh no, but no,
Now we're moving on
Burnout. Was there online Burnout on the original Xbox? Yeah, there was, because there was like Burnout Revenge.
Revenge had the online. Yep.
Just playing that, and I remember having so much fun with it. And just good times.
Oh yeah,
so many good times. And then I think like 360, PS3 era. Just getting older, more responsibilities, less time to play. But now you're getting bigger games.
God,
like
First and last time I invest $600 in a system.
Yeah, you and me both.
Oh, for a PS3.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. I went against. I'm like, I'm not getting a PS3 right away. No way.
Day it came out.
And then Blu-ray player was tempting, and then I think maybe like a couple weeks after he came out, they showed the Japanese trailer for Virtua Fighter 5.
Oh God, that was amazing.
That was it.
That was insanely good.
That was it for me, and I got it.
Actually, if I think back to it, I ended up spending like $1,400 for a PS3 because I went out and bought a new TV then.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because that was the first HD console. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And with the Blu-ray player, you had to have like the 1080p to get to
if you really
get
wanted to take advantage of it.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, that $600. Jesus, I remember.
Yeah, it was expensive.
My parents were not happy with me.
I think like they announced that, and like I had started saving up like gift cards. Like,
Yeah.
Everyone's like, "What do you want for Christmas?" I'm like, "Best Buy gift cards."
Yeah.
Just give it gift cards.
I definitely didn't pay $600 out of pocket for it. I think I paid under $200 out of pocket for it, but still, that was like a Christmas and a birthday's worth of gifts there.
Remember when they first announced it? Like all the crazy shit they had in it. It was like.
Eight
USB ports, like 2 HDMI's, and
there was that, and they announced the cell processor, and everyone's like, "This thing's so powerful, it's gonna change gaming."
Right.
Yep. And then
it ended up being the worst thing that happened to that system.
Right.
The developers were like, "What do we do?
What the fuck do we do with this?
What do we do with this?" That's why the 360 dominated.
Oh yeah.
Without a doubt.
Yeah. I mean, it took them a while to get the gears going, but then, for every, I guess cross-platform, not cross. Would it be cross-platform? Is that the word I'm looking for? That's available on both systems.
Yeah.
Cross-platform.
Multi-platform.
Sorry, multi-plat game. you would usually go with the 360 version because it looked better. You'd have live capabilities, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But for every one of those games, then you get like an Uncharted or something, that
right,
really take advantage of the PS3, and you're just like, oh man, that's awesome,
Well, that was the PS3 was my exclusive machine. Like that was exclusives only on PS3 for the longest time because I was everything because I was fully in on 360, and all the games ran better on 360 anyway. So all the sports games, everything like that.
Especially if you did anything online.
Especially the online.
To this day, Microsoft's online infrastructure is way better.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but the PS3, like their exclusives, but then again, like Xbox during that era had some amazing exclusives themselves.
Yeah, they did.
In the 360 era. Like it was unbelievable some of the stuff they had.
Not only that, but they were the first ones to do like the partners with the third parties. Like they
right,
they got all the
Call of Duty stuff, right.
Like all those games, they had the deals for the early access to stuff, and
and you'd be surprised how many people like that really affects their decision. In terms of like I have to have it first. Like I'm going to get it in here first.
Well, that's a lot of people's theories behind why the PS4 is so far ahead in this generation.
Right.
Is not only that, but like when they had their advertising deal with the first Destiny game,
right?
Like I guess they like surveyed people, and so many people thought that it was a PlayStation exclusive game because the way it was advertised.
Yep,
right,
exactly. Yep.
Yeah, every time you saw a trailer, at the end it was the PS4 logo.
Yeah,
every single time.
Yeah, it's all about the branding too, and maybe it's just other experiences with playing the game because like even working at a GameStop for the longest time. Everyone thought Madden was a PlayStation exclusive, and it's like, no, it's on Xbox. Like you can get it on other things. Oh, you can, they thought like if I wanted to play Madden, I have to get a PlayStation. Because like that was their experience with it. Or just because their friend had it on PlayStation, they have to have a PlayStation also.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Do you have a PlayStation, Cat?
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, that era, it was all about the 360. That era.
Yeah.
That was just I loved the 360 so much. Like I was obsessed with it. That even got like RPGs though. Like normally that PS4, PlayStation would have gotten. They were jumping ship like Eternal Sonata, Tales of Vesperia. Those eventually they came out with versions for the PS3, but those were 360 exclusives for a while. Right. And I played the shit out of those, especially Eternal Sonata. Oh, if you've never played that, great fucking game. But I remember though towards the end of the era though I jumped ship. Like I was like not playing my 360 at all, and I was playing nothing but PS3 games like for the longest time because like 360 that's kind of when Microsoft stopped coming out with some of the exclusive stuff. Like I wasn't really into Gears of War as much as I was back before and stuff. And PlayStation was just like I'm like here's all these games I haven't even touched yet on PS3. Like I should probably catch up.
Yeah.
And like that's when like Atlas started coming up with all their games for PS3 and stuff like that. So I was like, all right, time to jump ship to the PS3. Yeah. I always had the PS3, but I just never played it. That was more so my Blu-ray player, like that more or an exclusive machine. And then the Wii was just insane.
Yeah, Wii. I definitely jumped on the bandwagon for Wii. And it's just like, growing up with Nintendo and having even though I guess I would be considered a Sega kid, I still appreciate the Super Nintendo. I love going to my friends playing it. I wanted one because like I loved Star Fox. I love some of the other exclusive games. But then I lost my train of thought. This is horrible for a podcast.
Yeah, no, you're fine. We get off track all the time, and it helps.
I was really going somewhere, but now I forgot. But I guess let me circle back to PlayStation 3 real fast, where just like, with these other experiences and, like kind of games getting more adult, with the storytelling and stuff, the Uncharted's, I love them. 1, 2, and say what you will about 3. I still think 3 was great, especially if 2 never existed, I think people would love 3. But 2 was really, really good.
Sure.
But then for me, I think The Last of Us, like, for me, that's like pinnacle PlayStation 3, experience. Like,
well, that looked like nothing else when that came out.
And it really, just like sucked you in that beginning, like not even having a kid then, it was just like, holy shit. And then now watching it again after having a child and in 4K.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
that's brutal.
Yeah, that's like when I played that. That's like I said, that opening sequence is like you get to the end there like, oh,
Yeah, right. Yeah. I don't even want to play it. But it's like as great as The Last of Us is, for its story, and like you can argue, some gameplay stuff maybe not being that great, or I could see maybe some people not liking it, like just that whole experience, like it takes a lot out of you, like that game is just like relentless in terms of like just the situation to put you in and stuff, but it's always just like you can always just get past it, like even if you die, it's like, oh, okay, I gotta change this up a little, and you can still get it, still progress through the story, and I think it's just really well done, and I think the pacing is good enough where it's story, gameplay, gameplay, a little bit of story, more gameplay,
Sure.
It's just so great. I don't know if I'm emotionally prepared for the second one.
You better get ready.
Yeah.
In that generation of consoles, just one thing that, not personally impacting, but like societally hugely impacting, Xbox 360 was the first platform that had streaming Netflix.
Yes.
Yeah.
I signed up for the preview program to test Netflix early, and that's when I signed up for Netflix.
Yeah.
I've been a member ever since.
Me too.
Yeah. Yep.
I signed up for it because it was just like streaming, and granted, there wasn't a lot of stuff in the streaming. But I was like,
Sure.
I'll sign up for it and get the DVDs. And,
Right.
I'll rip the DVDs in my computer, and I
didn't even know what it was until that. Like, I was like, oh, what is this?
I knew what it was, but I've never been the person to sit down and watch a lot of movies. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like, I'll do it for the streaming thing. Mm-hmm. And I think if you sign up for streaming, I think you get a discount early on, or so you got a couple free months or something.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was, and obviously now Netflix is this huge streaming platform.
Oh yeah,
everybody
absolutely.
and their mother has or is borrowing somebody's login for.
Yeah, that was huge. I mean, and that was the thing because, like you said, I mean, besides your computer, that was the only other way to stream Netflix. Like that, there wasn't Roku's or your smart TVs or anything like that.
Unless you had the know-how to hook your computer up to your TV.
Right. Exactly.
You wanted to watch on your TV.
Right.
Doing it through an Xbox.
Yep.
I always kind of have to wonder, like, with something like streaming on Netflix and just kind of like the overall numbers and like how many people are actually using it, because it seems like a lot of people do use that feature, but then obviously with something like the Xbox One, obviously when that came out, their message was not that great in terms of like what is the system actually,
right.
But then like you hear a lot of people complain like, oh, I just want to play games on it, but then so many people did use Netflix on the 360 and PS3. You kind of have to wonder like why there was so much pushback. Obviously their whole presentation and how they did it was pretty awful. Like the message was not clear. Bad. Like if you really read it, like you can kind of like see where they were going, but like the initial blowback, I get why people were upset, but then I just don't get the whole like super pushback of just people like it has to be games only. But then it's nice to have those features.
Yeah, I think it's like what you just said there at the end is kind of what people want. Mm-hmm. Gamers want their gaming console that does other things too.
Right.
That does these extra other things that aren't necessarily gaming, but you'll appreciate them.
Yeah.
And that's why even with the Switch, there's people who are, doesn't this have Netflix or something?
Right. Exactly. Yeah. You would think a system like that where it's portability would like, want to have a feature like a Netflix. Maybe some of these other apps. Maybe it doesn't necessarily need like an MLB TV or something.
Sure.
Like it doesn't need every single thing.
Yeah.
But like to have
something standard like Netflix. Again, Netflix and Amazon Video are probably like the two most standard. I'd say right now.
Yeah.
But that was the thing, like because like back when because we don't have cable right now, but back when we were living with my folks, we had they had cable, and so I had the Xbox cable connected through the Xbox and everything like that. I loved it. Like I loved it. It was great. It was great.
My wife's not a huge fan of it. She's like, I don't want to have to turn on the Xbox to watch TV. I'm like, but it's so cool.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I say
I can't figure out these terrible menus.
Well, see, that's why Melissa just learned the voice commands, and then when they switched to the Cortana instead of the Xbox, that threw everything off. And I was like, even I was like, what the hell was going on? Like, these aren't the same commands. What's going on? And then it's like, oh, factory reset.
Yeah.
Oh, do you want to activate Cortana? Nope. I want my Xbox prompts. And like, we still use the voice commands, like, which is great.
I think it got better though when they had it to where on the Xbox One, where like when you turn on the system, it defaults to the TV mode.
Yes.
So like that's what I was trying to get my wife to do, but I mean I get it, because then like she'd be watching TV and bloop, Cartmaster's on. So I mean it goes both ways, but I thought it was a cool feature to have, but I can see it also being not totally necessary.
Yeah.
More and more, I wish they would have stuck with what their original intention was, just so there was a different product out there in the market. Now when you look at, I mean, Xbox and PlayStation, the one and the PS4, they're pretty much the same thing at this point.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, it's basically you're choosing, either which online ecosystem you want to be in or which exclusives you want to play for.
Right.
I granted I didn't like a lot of what they said initially.
Yes.
But I wish they would have kept it just so there was two different products.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking back at it now, because like I was the same way. I was not happy with like the online all the time, all this other stuff. But at the same time, it's like I think they just presented it wrong again.
Yeah.
Like I think they even though always online, that was like, no, like you don't understand. Like this is to get because of these features and stuff like that. They didn't explain it well enough or anything like that. Because like now, if you think about it, like some of this stuff would be really cool. Like that was the whole point of like I think this is why Crackdown I think is in a developmental hell, the new one, because the original Crackdown was going to be. It was online all the time.
Right.
It was constantly using that cloud
yeah,
to like changing environments and destruction and rebuild and all that kind of stuff. You can't do that without an online all the time model. So that they had to completely redo this game from the ground up basically. Right. And now it's not the same game as what they first showed up, which I'm still excited for because Crackdown's fun.
Yeah, you're hearing a lot of people going, "This is not what you guys showed me initially."
Right, exactly, and it's not. But I think that's because of the limitations of the system now. Right. And I agree with you. Now looking at it, it's like Microsoft actually might be doing better if they were different with their mentality, and also especially with they're already getting player unknown. I mean, so that's already gonna be huge. But imagine if they had that type of system and then got that game, like that would people would be jumping all over this for sure. So I'm still kind of curious to see how people are going to jump on the One X.
Do you think
how
somebody
that's
got
work.
really mad at Microsoft when they saw that Taco Bell commercial with the Crackdown guy in there?
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah,
I did. Yeah.
It's just like, oh, damn it.
Probably. I'm sure. Like crap.
So that pretty much covers all the consoles, then, right?
They covers. Yeah, we pretty much. We kind of.
I mean, there's. I got tons more stories. Obviously all personal, but those are ones that just stick out for me.
Yeah.
And then hopefully, people listening to this podcast can like kind of remember things that happened, with them, and just like this is why we played the games.
So funny story I'll throw in here at the end. So this whole thing was about how games have impacted us and what's stuck with us. Video games have pretty much led me to my career that I'm in now. Mm-hmm. So like I went to I was going through school. I was good at math, and I'd go to a teacher like, what can you do if you're interested in math other than teach? I don't want to teach. I hate kids. Mm-hmm. And they're like, oh, you can do this stuff. You can be an accountant. You can go into finance. You can go into computer stuff. And I'm like, well, I like video games. What's computers? I'm like, oh, computer science program. I'm like, great. I want to make video games for a living. Mm-hmm. Well, you get into college. Turns out computer programming is fucking hard. Mm-hmm. So
I tried it. And
I tried too. I lasted a semester.
I'm in a programming class right now. But it was like, I went through that, took a couple programming classes. I'm like, this isn't for me.
Right.
And I'm like, what can I still do with programs? And that kind of basically led me to where I am now, working in IT support. Mm-hmm. So it was a very roundabout way to get there, but essentially, video games led me to where I am now as far as my career, which is kind of weird to think about because. Mm-hmm.
I'm in the same boat because that was the whole thing. Going to college, I was like, DePaul just got a video game development degree. And I was like, oh, perfect. This is what I'm going to do. This is totally what I'm going to do. One semester, I was like, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. But it led me into the graphic design field then and everything. And so I learned web design and all that, and the print and logos and stuff. I was like, oh, maybe I could make movie posters or video game box art and stuff like that. That was like the dream thought of like, okay, I guess what I could do with all this. But like that led me into my career as well.
Yeah. All right, good stuff.
Good topic. Yeah, no, that was awesome. Yeah. No, that was fun. That was fun because I'm remembering different stories because like that's the thing. I mean, video games. I mean, people make people still make fun of people for liking video games and stuff like that. But which is fine. Whatever.
But I think it's definitely more accepted.
It's definitely way more accepted now. Yeah, absolutely. But it's just like, but this is why we're in it. This is why we got in it, and this is why we've stuck with it for all these years. And it's great. Right.
All right, so on to our final. What is this segment? My gift to you.
We're doing really well without Mike pulling us along.
Yeah, we're doing really good without Mike.
Without Mike, invite me back many times as you want.
We're doing really good without Mike weighing us down. Yeah. So, for those of you who don't know, if somehow this is the first time in 37 episodes you're watching or listening to us, my gift to you is a segment where we gift a game to each other. The other person plays it, gives their impressions, and they give a gift to somebody else. So, in our last episode. Steak gave a gift to Mike, who, if you weren't here earlier, he died. So Mike gave me a prepared statement before he killed himself.
This is hilarious.
Mike's gift to steak. Before I start, I do apologize for breaking the year-and-a-half streak of having all 3 hosts present for the show. Life and work both got in the way, and it was just not possible to be here to record today. Any reports of gynecology appointments or furry convention meetups are greatly over-exaggerated, I assure you.
Damn, he knew we were going to go with this.
On the matter at hand, I don't want to shorthand my impressions of Super Blood Hockey because the game and you guys deserve much better than that. It's really good. I'll talk about it at length when I get back, but until then, here's some back-of-the-box quotes for the game. It's like NES Ice Hockey and Mortal Kombat had a baby.
Awesome.
Sold.
Right there.
If a side-scrolling beat-em-up added a hockey mode, it would be Super Blood Hockey. 12v12 hockey is a glorious bloody clusterfuck. Now for Steak's gift.
Oh my god, it's 12v12? I didn't realize
I
that.
didn't know
Holy
either.
crap. That's awesome.
Steak's gift from Myke is Cluster Truck for the PS4. This one looks like a ton of fun where you run across the top of a bunch of semi-truck trailers while they fly down a highway and are crashing all over the place. The game is on sale right now on the PS4 and costs exactly the same amount as Super Blood Hockey, so we'll be even Steven. That's it. Again, I apologize. Hope to be back in town for the next episode. Later, stickheads. I love you. Signed, dearly departed Mike Kernat.
All right, cluster truck. Awesome. That sounds like what I do every day. Trying to
Trying to get to work?
trying to get to work, jumping on top of semi trucks. I think that's probably where he was getting with that.
He's trying to find you a more efficient way to get to work.
yeah, exactly. Well, if it's on sale now, that means the sale ends tomorrow, so I better go buy that
Yeah, you
today.
should probably buy that.
I should buy that tonight. Yeah.
Or buy it tomorrow and go, oh, Mike.
Like,
it wasn't on sale, by the way, you owe me.
it was actually like $15.
Yeah, so that's it for this episode.
Well, actually,
That was good. Oh, that's right.
I have gifts for you guys.
Joe has gifts.
Yes, because I really appreciate you.
Awesome.
You let me come on here.
Oh,
and,
of course, man.
and
You're one of
you
our
know,
greatest listeners. You listen all the time. He texts me like I know, like he like it was. We release on Wednesdays. Like on my way home from work, I usually get a text from him like commenting on something. I forget what it was. But one time there was like I mentioned that I didn't play something, and he's like, "How the fuck have you not played this yet?"
But this is definitely a bribes to let me on.
Oh.
Again, so hopefully
Bribery works.
Oh, it totally
helps.
works.
All right, so I got
quite a
I
bit.
tried. So
I can be bought.
Yeah.
basically moved in June. I have a lot of my stuff at my parents' house still, and I've been slowly going through it. So I tried to find gifts for each one of you individually.
Cool.
And right now I only really have one for Art specifically.
All right. Nice.
But then I kind of have gifts for all of you together.
Cool.
For
No, that's awesome, dude.
You can just give me Mike's gift.
Yeah.
So
Let's go with the art specific gift first.
this really isn't a gift. This was for Mike because when you guys were talking about the what you guys want on like your PlayStation Mini. And
Yeah,
stuff,
right.
Yeah.
He mentioned Rival Schools,
Yeah.
which made me super happy because not enough people know about this game. Well, there actually was a sequel.
Yes.
And it was Project Justice on the Dreamcast. See, if you guys played Sega, you
Yeah.
have these gems. So I wanted him to play this today on your Dreamcast.
Oh,
but
yeah.
We'll save that for next time.
For sure.
He's not
For
getting
sure.
this, but he
Yeah.
can play it. So,
Look what you missed out on.
right.
From the grave.
So, Mike, this isn't totally video game related, but I found this.
Awesome.
Apparently, I got this in a loot crate. I don't know if you have it, but I know you're a big fan of Harley Quinn.
Oh no, awesome!
So
Thank
there-
you.
so there you
Oh, I
go.
appreciate that. Nice, little located Harley Quinn comic.
Art, this is for you.
Awesome.
I think once you see it, you'll know what it is. You don't have to wear it. You can keep it, but I think you'll appreciate it. I can't wait to see your face once you see what it is.
Awesome.
Oh, you're
So I had tons of shirts from GameStop.
oh my god!
I
No
just
shit!
took. Yeah. So people that like never
Oh
picked
my
up their
God.
pre-orders and stuff.
Right.
Because I still had a conscience where like
Fantastic.
I'm glad you enjoyed. So, like I still had a conscience, and I never just took shit. Like if people,
Yeah, right.
If we didn't get enough pre-orders, or people just didn't pick
October
up their shit.
1998.
Yeah, dude, I know. That I just took it.
Right.
Know,
Oh,
like,
yeah,
it's a
absolutely.
shirt, it's
Oh,
small,
for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
And it's just been sitting in a bin. It's never been worn. Still wash it if you want to. It's been sitting there
That
probably,
is fantastic.
probably since
Oh,
1998.
that's in fantastic shape for
Yeah.
1998.
Yeah, it's literally just been sitting in a bin. It went from my parents' house to my condo, and then when I sold my condo, when I got a house with my wife, it went back to my parents' house. Because there wasn't enough room in my wife's condo.
Right.
But now I'm slowly bringing all that stuff.
Oh, that's awesome.
So now this is kind of for all of you guys.
Awesome.
So obviously you guys film here, but this can be passed along. I have no need for it and stuff.
Okay.
But maybe spruce it up with more video game stuff. Your PlayStation clock.
Oh,
Awesome.
yeah, awesome! We will totally put this up.
And then I think Myke would appreciate this more because I know he's a fan. If you don't want to keep this, I understand because it's kind of big.
I was wondering. Oh my god!
Here's a light up Nintendo.
Holy crap!
Look at that. It's a little dusty.
Awesome.
The sticker's falling off on the back, but the front side.
But the front side with the lights up is good. This is. Oh my god! We're gonna make great.
How do we hang this up in the garage?
We'll find a way.
Yeah.
This is gonna go behind us.
I don't know how I'll look on film if it'll be too bright, but hey, whatever you guys want to do,
we'll make it work.
We'll figure it out.
We'll make it work. Oh, this is awesome.
Yeah. So there you go. And
this
that's
is
the thing,
amazing.
like, I kept all this stuff. Obviously, you know, my grand scheme of displaying it all in my house is never going to happen. And I get that, you know, but obviously if I can pass this on to people that are going to enjoy it, you know, instead of it just being thrown in the trash, you know,
sure.
I just don't let me see this on eBay within the next year or so.
Oh, God, no. Hell no, dude.
Do
No
what
way,
you want,
no
because
way.
I'll probably forget about it by then.
No way. This is going...
So obviously, you know, like
We will put
I'm
this
gonna
up on
keep,
the garage door.
I'm gonna keep looking through my stuff, and if there's anything I think you guys would appreciate, you know, you're more than welcome to have it
Awesome.
and stuff.
No,
like I
we're-
said, some of the really cool stuff I'm keeping.
No, absolutely. Yeah, no, we really appreciate it, man. This is great.
As you're going through all this stuff, are you like, do you sit there and get lost and you're just going, oh, this is so cool. Oh, this is so cool.
Yeah.
And the next thing you're like, shit, I gotta move. I gotta get some of this stuff out
I've been
of here.
looking through this for 3 hours,
know,
and I haven't
it's-
done a thing.
It's really bad, and then it just makes me realize how much shit I have. Yeah. But
Like I
know,
said, you should see, like... Oh my god! So I haven't seen the more recent stuff of Joe's, but when you had your condo in Tinley,
Yeah.
Holy crap! Like he had this one big giant shelf, so it had all his movies, but it had all of his games, and then in the office had all of his like Saturn games and Street Fighter figures, and oh my god, it's it's pretty epic.
I've acquired a lot of stuff, but I've been lucky to, you know, because obviously, like working at Babbage's and GameStop, all this stuff
We've
came
gathered
in,
quite a bit. Yeah,
you know, but a
absolutely.
lot of times too, like these figures would come in. It's like I can't keep buying all these figures, but then no one would buy them, and then GameStop would literally be like 75% off.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Well, I get
yeah.
the price change in the morning.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Put it down there, save that. Put it down
Oh
there,
god, the
save
amount of
that,
times
you know.
the morning price changes screwed me of my wallet.
Yeah, but it's just still surprising that like it was like not a gradual price going down.
Right.
Like sometimes
No, it
they'll
was
be
usually
like,
full. It was full
just
price
get
for
rid
like
of it.
6 months. You still have those? All right, get them, drop them.
Right. You know,
$5
and then
a piece.
just shit like this, they'll be like, just throw it away.
This is
Yeah.
great because this is awesome because
Yeah.
when I got promoted to got promoted to third key, they moved me to the other store in Orland Park.
Yeah.
And the store manager there was awful. He was an awful person. He threw out all game stuff.
Yeah.
Like anything that was game related, he threw out. He was a businessman. He hated games. It was like ridiculous. So stuff like this, he would just, without even asking, he just tossed. And like I lost my shit one day because I didn't work for like 3 days, and I came in. I was like, "What did you do?
Yeah,
Like,
all
where
this
did
stuff?"
everything go?" He's like, fuck you. I got pissed. And like this was like I'm pretty sure something like this was thrown out. So this is awesome.
Good. I'm glad.
Thank you, man.
What you just described is one of my biggest problems I have with GameStop as a company. Because I truly believe that the people who work there that you interact with in a store actually care about video games. It's not, you know, it's a job for them, but it's a job where they have to work with video games. They care about video games. They probably play video games. But then you have the corporate overlords who are just business,
Right.
dollars. And it's one of those things. It's like, you guys don't get it.
Yeah, no, that's why I was like the era we worked together was awesome.
Yeah,
We had a ton of fun. We really enjoyed everything. I mean, to wrap things up here, I'll tell you my first time I ever worked with Joe. It was a Saturday morning. Joe closed the night before, so he came in, and I was just like, "Hey, Joe, hey." Okay, like I was a 16-year-old, quiet 16-year-old kid, and you know, as we're working, like I'm like starting to do something. Joe just starts getting so mad. I'm just like it was like third day of work. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what to do. Like, what's going on? Like, I'm just like, oh my god, this guy's so mean. Like, he's like I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And it was awful. And then like later, like before I left, he's like, sorry. He's like, I closed last night and blah 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 and. Sorry. I was like, no problem. I was like, okay, no problem. And then, it was great since. It was great since. So we had a ton of fun.
Do you want to? How much time do we got? Do you want to do your interview story real fast? Do you remember that when you came in for your interview with me and Tony Stern in the back?
Oh my god!
remember what we were
I don't
doing?
remember what you guys were doing. I'm trying to remember.
we had a shrink wrap machine, so
Oh,
certain
yeah.
things.
Okay.
So my friend and I, and we didn't realize he was coming in for his interview. My friend and I, we put our hands in the shrink wrap machine and shrink wrap them, and then we tried to wrestle. Remember, we couldn't grab each other. So here comes this kid of his first interview. We're like, we're like smacking each other, like trying to like grapple each other.
And Fred just cracking him, just like, knock it off.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm trying to do an interview. And
We're like-
oh my
we're
God.
like, oh yeah, forgot about that.
That was so funny.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
We can do a whole episode just GameStop
Oh,
stories.
we could.
It's just-
Good and bad. But, but
Well, thank you for
No,
letting me on.
thank
Thank
you,
you for coming.
man.
Thank you for.
yes.
you know,
Yeah, this is
like I
fantastic.
said, I can't, obviously, realistically display all this stuff. I mean, I'm glad I kept it, but if I can give it to other people,
I
that are
mean,
gonna
you
appreciate
could.
it.
Your wife would just
She just killing us. Huh?
No, she's very good.
But yeah.
She gets it.
Yeah, no, for sure.
she
No,
gets it
absolutely.
to a point.
Right.
Absolutely. That's why you see like I've got the garage.
They all get it to a point.
Yep. Okay. So, but no, this will go awesome. This will go up on the
It's funny
garage
'cause, like,
door and
My basement of my house, that's where I have like nice TV and my video game systems and everything. And my wife's fine with everything being down there. But like I bought a new TV for the basement recently, moved my old one up to the front room, which is still a nice TV. And I told her, I'm like, I gotta get a PlayStation up in here now. And she just gave me the death stare. I'm like not out of the basement. She's like, you have the whole basement.
Fair enough.
fine.
I'm like, you give me pretty free reign on pretty much everything I want to do. So I'll
Right.
we'll just pass on this one. It was a joke.
So compromise. But yeah, no, thank you so much, Joe.
no
Thank you
problem.
so much
Thank you
for
for coming
joining
by.
us. We really
We'll
appreciate
definitely
it.
have you again at some point.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Looking forward to it.
Maybe we'll resurrect Mike at some point too.
Yeah, maybe we'll see.
For those who don't know, Mike's not really dead.
No, he's fine.
just in jail.
He's fine. Yeah. This keeps getting worse.
So that's it for the episode. Thanks, Stickhead, for stopping by. Steak, any last words?
Yeah, where can people find us, Art?
Fuck.
Your favorite part of the show?
People can find us on Facebook, iTunes, Google Play by searching These Six Podcasts. You can find us on YouTube at youtube.com/StixGamingVids. And you can find us on, what am I forgetting here? Twitter at Stix Podcast.
Yeah, I think that covers it. And whatever's on there if we missed it.
Yeah, there's stuff on the
The
screen.
stuff that pops up on the
Maybe.
screen. If you're watching the video, it's on there. I
Yeah.
put it on there.
Yes.
Also, don't forget to check us out on Twitch every other Tuesday. That might be hit or miss with being down a man here.
I was gonna say with Mike with his work situation and then Art
Jail
with
situation.
yeah Art with school.
They don't let you stream from prison. That's the problem.
Yeah. Oh, he's gonna be so happy about us after that. Oh, it's gonna be great. So, but yeah, tune in
I think he has visitations next week. I'm gonna go see him.
in the trailer where you can touch him.
Yeah, I mean, he's gotta get it from somewhere.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'm his friend, right?
Yeah,
Help the guy out.
gotta make sure he's
Take him for the
satisfied.
team.
That's right. Awesome.
All right, thanks, Stick guys.